It's time for high school sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Today's broadcast of high school sports on the NCWLIFE channel is presented by Alignment Pros, Automoca, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, and the Windmill Restaurant. NCWLIFE channel's coverage is also brought to you by Charter College and the Walkabout Grill. Now let's go live for all the action for tonight's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Along with Grant Olson, I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCWLIFE channel, and we are very excited to bring you this broadcast because we haven't been able to do the broadcast on the audio side. Right. So thanks to Icicle Broadcasting right out of the gate for letting us come here and do the game tonight. And boy, do we have a great matchup. It is the 2-2 Wenatchee Panthers hosting the 2-2 Moses Lake Chiefs. Both 1-0 in Big Nine play, but it's early, Grant. What are you expecting?
It's early. I expect, I think these teams are rivals, even though Wenatchee obviously has Eastmont across the river. Moses Lake doesn't have another high school, and I think they view Wenatchee as their rival, and I think Wenatchee views them the same. And interesting tonight, Eric, it's a game, both teams have a couple of streaks going. The Panthers defense, 2 shutouts in a row. Moses Lake has beaten the Panthers the last 3 times in a row. So a couple of streaks on the line tonight. Yeah,
it's the 66th meeting between these two schools. Wenatchee comes in, as you mentioned, after a road win last week at Eisenhower, where they threw for a touchdown. They ran for a touchdown, but if you talk to Coach Scott Devereaux, he likes to run that football, and he's looking for the offensive line to improve.
And I think he didn't want to be too optimistic about his offensive line. He said they're getting there, but obviously the last 2 weeks, and especially last week at Ike, a tough place to play and an improving cadet team, they played darn well.
Well, and we're going to talk to Scott Devereaux on the pregame show as we continue. We're also going to talk to one of the starting linebackers for the Wenatchee Panthers. Suddenly, a stalwart defense, not giving up much, and came up with a big shutout last week. Of course, you get 2 weeks ago a 70-0 shutout over a team from Canada, and Scott told us it's not a very good football team.
And you can't really gauge things by a game like that, that's for sure. But the Panthers' defense is the story. We'll see how they come out here tonight against a team that likes to run the ball. And they've got usually some tricks up their sleeves down the road somewhere, too. So we'll see what the Chiefs bring here tonight.
Well, and Cam Sermon's going to have his hands full tonight to make sure he kind of keeps under cool for the Wenatchee Panthers, and Nate Blauman hoping to have another big game running out of the backfield. Meanwhile, the Wenatchee Panther defense going to have to key on Dominic Signorelli, the play caller. He's number 3 in passing right now in the Big Nine, and then also he's got kind of a bowling ball behind him running the football in their option attack, and Moses Garza. It's a punch, and the linebackers say, hey, you got to stay disciplined when you play this team.
Absolutely, and Moses Lake has always loved the dive play right up the middle, so we'll see a lot of that with the fullback and maybe Campos and Garza on the outside, but it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. And for the Panthers, Eric, Darius Carlson might be a little bit banged up tonight. We heard earlier in the week he had a bruised knee so from last week's game, so we'll see how he comes out tonight. That's a weapon the Panthers are going to have tonight.
In addition, there's been some flu going through the Panther lineup as well, so we'll see who we have healthy here. We're going to take a break and come back with more of the pregame show. We'll talk to Scott Devereaux, the head coach for 15 years now here at Wenatchee High School. Time flies, doesn't it? And we'll also talk to Eamon Haugen, a linebacker, a senior linebacker for Wenatchee. We'll do that as we continue with the pregame show live from Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. It's the Moses Lake Chiefs and the Wenatchee Panthers straight ahead on the NCWLIFE channel. Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. One Way Construction NW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home.
What's your Automoca emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Our pregame show continues here on the NCW Life channel, getting a chance to talk with head coach Scott Devereaux before this matchup with Moses Lake here tonight. Well, Scott, first of all, congrats, couple of wins in a row. You get healthy a couple weeks ago against the Canadian team, and then you follow it up with a shutout down at Ike. It's never an easy play, especially to go on the road to Yakima. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Kids played a really good game that week, so hopefully it keeps on rolling tonight.
Couple of shutouts by your defense in a row. We're going to talk with one of your linebackers coming up here on the pregame show next, but talk about the keys for your defense and the improvements they've made over the last couple of weeks.
You know, we played pretty fast. You know, I think the fact that we played two really good teams helped. Mount Boucherie game, you know, they were not very good, and but Eisenhower's a solid football team, and defensively, you know, we just played lights out, really.
We'll talk about speed on defense. You're going to be tested here against Moses Lake tonight. They typically have had some speed in the past. Talk about what you know from film study of them and as your prep has been this week.
They're still running what they do. You know, a lot of option, a lot of zone read. They're pretty good at it. Quarterback is an athlete. He can throw it, he can run it. Running back is small but built like a brick. You know, runs hard. And just because of what they do, the option stuff, you know, they burn teams that are undisciplined. So our job this week is to play disciplined assignment football.
Well, you talked about that on those first two games of kind of doing things a little better execution-wise. Your offensive line must be playing much better football now.
They're getting better. Yep, every week they're getting better. You know, we're seeing improvement. So there you go.
Talk about how important it was to get Blauman back, and then also the play of your quarterback. So, I mean, he's looked pretty good.
Yeah, having Nate back is great. You know, we missed him most of the season last year, and he was a little slow getting going this year. So getting him out there against Mount Boucherie and letting him run a little bit was good for him. He's feeling good. He had a tough game against Ike and ran hard and, you know, popped that one long run. And it's nice to see, you know, it's really nice to see because that's what we know in Nate, that he can do those things.
Right. Meanwhile, you got a guy as your signal caller back there who's got some pretty good targets with Kuntz and with Carlson. I know that's got to be something kind of almost a security blanket for him.
Yeah, he's getting more confident every week. You know, and his challenge was just staying even keel. You know, he's a young kid. The first couple games he was sky high, and so now, you know, the rule is 82 beats a minute. That's where his heart needs to be at, and he plays much better there.
So what's the key for you guys for tonight?
Key again will be defense. You know, we need to limit their running game. So much of what they do is based on that inside run, so we need to stop that and then win first down, get them in second long, because then we kind of know what's coming. And offensively, we need to execute up front, you know, and just keep improving.
Well, best of luck tonight. Keep everybody healthy, most important.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Scott Devereaux joining us here on the pregame show. Speaking of the defense, Eamon Haugen, linebacker, is going to join us coming up next as we continue with the pregame show next on the NCW Life channel.
The pros, alignment pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Our pregame show continues here on the NCW Life channel before this matchup of Moses Lake and Wenatchee here tonight. And Eamon Haugen joining us now, who's linebacker for the Wenatchee Panthers. Eamon, first of all, how's the season been for you?
It's been good. It's a lot better than the last two seasons. Definitely. Just the feeling around the team, you know? Yeah.
Small in numbers, but big in heart, and it seems like a lot of talent that you guys are finding as you go after a couple of great games in a row.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like different people are stepping up every game, you know, and that's what you need to make a good season, you know.
Tell me about your preseason and your off season and you getting ready for this year. What did you do?
Yeah, so just a lot of weight room, you know, and just helping with the guys, trying to get more numbers out here because it's lower than we've been in the past. So, you know.
A chance to get healthy a couple of weeks ago against that team from Canada. You shut them out 70-0. Then you go down to Eisenhower. It's never an easy place to play. Right. You pitch another shutout. That's got to feel good for you guys on defense.
Oh yeah. We're really happy about the defense, how the defense is playing, and yeah, we're hoping for another shutout tomorrow. I don't know about it, but hopefully.
Well, Moses Lake has put some numbers on the board this year. So what are you guys looking for in your prep this week for this matchup?
Well, they run a lot of option. Speed option and zone option, so that's our key mostly for defense. You know.
Tell me about that for those that don't play football, don't know what they're looking for. What are you zoning in on? What are your keys when you're looking at that option offense when you're playing linebacker?
Yeah, for linebacker, it's the running back first and then the quarterback, but they're trying to trap our DNs, and then the quarterback will either hand it off or run it if whatever the DN does, you know. Depending on that.
How good does that feel if you read a play properly, you find yourself in the hole and you're making a tackle either for no gain or for a loss?
Oh yeah, it's really nice because, you know, they're trying to do something and try to trick you, and you don't trick them. You didn't, oh shit. That's okay. Didn't get tricked.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this matchup with Moses Lake. Aside from Eastmont, that's got to be one of your guys' biggest rivals, Darius Carlson. Right?
Oh yeah, and they're always top of the league, at least in the past few years, and they got a good program, and they just seem to keep reproducing, you know.
What do you think is the key for you guys to get a win against the Chiefs team?
I think play good defense and do enough on offense, you know, just
repeat that recipe from last week then, right?
Pretty much.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time. Best of luck. Keep healthy the rest of the season, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Eamon Haugen joining us here on the pregame show. We'll come back and get your starting lineups and kickoff coming up next from the Apple Bowl on the NCWLIFE channel.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Können Sie mir das Problem sagen? Meinen Zylinder überschwimmt. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren. Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragen schließen.
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
Marching band with our national anthem just concluded as we come back to you here live on the NCWLIFE channel along with Grant Olson. I'm Eric Grandstrom here on this gorgeous Friday night. You could not ask for anything better. 75 degrees right now as we get ready for kickoff, Grant Olson.
Can you believe that? The end of September. But it's kind of like that a lot of seasons, Eric. You know, that we'll be paying the price here in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Well,
most
we
likely.
got cheated out of so much summer with the smoke that we had and everything else. We lost the month of August basically to the smoke. So I'll take the mulligan we're getting right now.
I will too. It's gorgeous.
Captain's about ready to come out onto the field for the Wenatchee Panthers. That would be Jaden Christofferson along with Riley Coons. Also captaining is Jacob Christensen as well as Nate Blauman. They will be coming to the center of the field here along with our officiating crew. I know Dennis Brandstetter is one of our officials. He's the head referee. Meanwhile, for Moses Lake, the Chiefs will send out their captains, their quarterback Dominic Signorelli, along with Weston Mize. Also out there is Joshua Williams and their middle linebacker, Isaac Taylor. So that is the captains. They are at the middle of the field right now. The Panthers in their purple jerseys with black numbers trimmed in gold. I don't know whose idea that was, but it's not helping the announcers
broadcaster's
much.
nightmare, Eric.
Exactly. At least Moses Lake numbers easy to read here with the white uniforms and the crimson numbers, if you will. The toss of the coin, the visitors have the choice on the selection, and it looks like Wenatchee has won the toss and will elect to defer to the second half. So it will be Moses Lake on offense to start it here. So let's take a look at our starting lineups on the NCWLIFE channel. And our starting lineups brought to you by Swoboda Photography, creating a custom boutique experience on location or at their studio in Leavenworth. Call 888-6654 for more information. Up front, that's where it all starts. And the Chiefs will start at center. Weston Mize, a 6'1", 230-pound senior. The guards are Rhodey Raymond, a 6'2", 215-pound sophomore, and Kevin Donovan, a 5'10", 220-pound sophomore. Meanwhile, for the tackles is Sebastian Rodriguez, a 5'10", 220-pound senior, and Thomas Molitor, a 6', 230-pound senior. They like to spread the ball out, but they'll do an option out of the backfield. The wide receivers, Bradley Matheson, a 5'10", 140-pound senior, and Spencer Smith, a 6', 160-pound senior. They'll line the slot up, and Dalen Anderson, a 6', 180-pound senior. In the backfield, the fullback or a wing, he'll come out on the slot as well, wearing number 34, Mason Campos, a 6', 190-pound senior. The tailback is Moses Garza, 5'7", 160-pound junior. And the multi-sport athlete, all Big Nine, all around, no matter what he chooses to play, if it's basketball, baseball, or here football, Dominic Signorelli, 6', 175-pound senior, comes in as the number 3 passer in the Big Nine.
And he's an athlete, as you mentioned, Eric. Also, Eric, very good in basketball as well. We'll see him this winter, too. I'm anxious to watch his team tonight. There's a great vibe when Moses Lake plays Wenatchee, isn't there?
Absolutely. As the fans get into it here, the boys in purple will come out and kick the ball away. Let's look at the defense up front for Wenatchee. The starters at tackles, Ronan Haynes, a 5'9", 190-pound senior. Omar Cruz, a 5'10", 190-pound sophomore. The defensive ends, Derek Graham, a 6', 225-pound senior, and Chase Lloydhammer, a 6'5", 200-pound, 5-pound junior. The linebackers on the inside, Jaden Christofferson, a 5'10", 190-pound senior, and Eamon Haugen, whom we met just moments ago on the pregame show, 5'11", 190-pound senior. Outside, you're going to find Gavin Corrigan, a 5'10", 175-pound junior. The corners, Ferris Nasser, who's been sick all week long, but he's out there. He's going to be able to play tonight, a 5'11", 175-pound senior. Sebastian Esquivel on the other corner, a 5'9", 155-pound junior. Meanwhile, Darius Carlson and Jackson Bowles will range as the safeties. So here we go. Get ready for the kickoff here tonight as Sebastian Esquivel will have it teed up at the 40-yard line, left hash mark, and he approaches and puts a leg into it. And we are underway as the ball bounces at the 20-yard line. Somebody's got to pick it up, and they finally do. Look out, they got a gap on the outside. On the return here is Lorenz Thomas, and a flag comes in late, and usually that's against the return team. So we'll see about that. It looked dangerous for the return team immediately, but then he had room on the outside, brought the ball back about 12 yards out to the 32, but hold it. We'll see what the penalty is.
Might be a reason he turned that corner over there, or did he get hit late maybe on the sideline?
Oh,
the flag's pretty close to the sideline.
Way, so it looks like it will be a penalty against the Panthers here. Moses Lake with the first possession of the ball game. And penalties is what hurt Wenatchee last week, and just mental mistakes offensively, or else that 14-0 win at Eisenhower probably would have been a lot bigger than that. And this one's going to hurt a lot. It's a 15-yard penalty right out of the gate against Wenatchee.
That's going to give Moses Lake fantastic field position, Eric, at their own 46-yard line in their first possession of the ball game.
Wow. So first down from the 46. Ball to the right hash mark as we look at it here. And the Chiefs on offense as we set it up again in the backfield. Dominic Signorelli, the play caller, wears number 7, always in the shotgun. He's got 2 backs right behind him. Campos will get the handoff. Left side, dive play up the middle into Wenatchee territory down to the 47-yard line. So Campos on the first carry of the ball game lined up as the up back, if you will, right beside Signorelli. And Campos with the dive play, good for 7 yards. It'll be second down and 3.
He's a load. He's a big kid running up the middle there, Campos. The Panthers, this is a play that the Moses Lake Chiefs have run a long time, Eric. You know that too. These dive plays, a great blocking up front again.
Campos again with an easy first down. Lots of room to run over there. Takes it down to the 35-yard line. Gain of 12 yards and a first down for Moses Lake, making it look easy in 2 plays so far.
What a great job of that offensive line. Great blocking up front. Miguel Diaz, Jorge Cruz, the big lineman up front. Also Vasquez at 240 pounds blowing open that hole.
First possession of the ball game. Clock runs with just over 11 minutes to go. Scoreless so far. Moses Lake traveling from right to left as we look at it here at the Apple Bowl, although I should say our cameras are looking at it the opposite of where we are. Another big hole by Campos on that counter play inside, and Campos rumbles for 8 yards to the Wenatchee 27 and close to another first down.
Campos already 28 yards rushing on 3 carries on this opening drive.
Panthers with their hands on their hips right now defensively up front with Lloyd Hammer, Haynes, Cruz, and Graham trying to figure things out as Moses Lake's offensive line is forcing its will right now. 2nd and 1 from the 26, call it. Handoff this time. It's their scat back, and he's got a first down and more all the way down to about the 12-yard line. That time Moses Garza. It's a 2-man punch for Moses Lake, and they are sniffing the end zone and the red zone. They're going to put him down at the 13.
13-yard gain there, Eric, and once again a giant hole up the middle, and it looks to me, just looking down at the field, that Moses Lake's got a size advantage in this ball game, especially in line compared to line here so far, offense and defense.
Moses Lake goes 220, 215, 230, 220, and 230 across the offensive line right now, and they are blowing big holes in that defense for Wenatchee. As we lean out our window here from the Pioneer side of the field, a handoff again, and not much running that time, although positive yards for Campos on his 4th carry of the game already.
Right.
And he got it down to the 10-yard line, so a gain of 3 yards.
32 yards now, 4 carries in this opening drive. It's been all on the ground.
Well, 15 yards on a penalty on the kickoff return on a late hit against Wenatchee set Moses Lake up in gorgeous field position, and the Chiefs have been taking advantage of it here. Let's see if they throw for the first time of the ball game. Watch for Signorelli. He's a big kid back there at 6'1", 175 pounds. Moves Campos, now turns, fakes the handoff, throws out the flat. The ball thrown out to Campos inside the 10, down to the 5, and going to be about a yard short to the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 1 coming up from the 5-yard line on the first pass completion. Just a little sugar throw outside to Campos.
And you know, that's all they need to do right now with the running game rolling like it is. They're down on the 5-yard line. Go back to your horse that's got you down here.
They'll say 3rd and 2 officially here, as they'll swap some bodies out. Will the Chiefs, as Chayton Fisk, a 6', 160-pound senior wide receiver, comes in. He'll split out wide to the short side of the field left. I formation, back to pass, looking right, throwing right. The ball a little bit too high for Campos. Falls incomplete. Pretty good coverage out there for Wenatchee by Sebastian Esquivel. It falls incomplete, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Eric, really, I think he had him out there in the flat, just a little bit too far out of his outstretched arms over than the far side of the field, but that's a throw I think Signorelli would like to have back.
Well, no movement from the far sideline about bringing a kicker in here. We saw a different youngster out there warming up. Bradley Matheson was doing the kicking duties prior to the ball game, so I'm not sure what happened with their normal kicker, but that was Tristan Queen. He was not kicking in the pregame, but they're going for it on 4th down and 1 for the 15-yard line. Turn, handoff, and right in the backfield, right there, right away for Wenatchee. Chase Lloyd Hammer brings the hammer, stops him on 4th down, turns the ball over.
And what a great job on that defensive line. He just shook that offensive tackle and made that stop. And Panthers, this could be the momentum switch they might need. It's early on, I know, but that was an impressive drive by Moses Lake, all for nothing. So we'll see if Wenatchee can take advantage of it.
So the Panthers will have the ball officially at their own, 6-yard line.
Right.
That's where it will sit, 1st down and 10, as the Panthers' Camden Sermon will run the offense here, but first we're going to have a flag down. Hands are clapping for Wenatchee, saying that maybe Moses Lake jumped in the neutral zone.
I think they did, Eric.
And it's going to be on the defense. So before Wenatchee can run a play, it'll be 1 penalty, 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 5 coming up from the 11. Let's get a look at the offense here for the Panthers. Sim Cass is a 6', 220-pound sophomore. He's a tackle. Vincent Bentley next to him, a 6'3", 165-pound sophomore. more. Jacob Christensen is the center, a 5'10", 230-pound senior. We'll get you the rest of them coming up in a moment. First of all, in the shotgun is Sermon. He'll go back to pass, look down to his right, and wants to go deep on this one. Overthrows his intended receiver downfield, and that ball intended for J.J. Jelsing, just a little bit too far for him. It'll be second down coming up in 5.
I love that call. First play from scrimmage. You keep the defense honest, and now maybe you plow some runs at them a little bit and go back downfield. I love that call, first play of the game. And Coach Devereaux this year in the booth, Eric. He is not on the sideline. He's up in the booth. That's kind of unusual, too.
Andy Jimenez, the other guard for Wenatchee, a 5'9", 235-pound junior. Nathan Black is a 6'2", 200-pound junior. The other tackle, Riley Kuntz, the tight end. They like to go to him. They went to him for a big touchdown play last week in the win at Eisenhower. Sending a man in motion is Sermon. He'll turn the hand around the fly sweep here across the 20 and out to the 23-yard line. Great job on the run there for Wenatchee coming around the end. Dalton Thomas with a first down.
Nice run around that left end and a nice seal block by the tight end on that far side. Really allowed the running back to get around that corner and a nice 11-yard gain.
So they'll put it out to the 22 on the gain there by the Panthers' Dalton Thomas. He'll come out wide to the right along with Darius Carlson here on this first down and 10 for the Panthers. Back to pass, throwing out to his left. The ball caught over there and quickly taken down that time. Boy, it's hard to see these numbers.
Sure is.
Gonna have to use the binoculars on that one to be able to tell. Black numbers trimmed in gold.
It doesn't help much.
Purple jersey. That was Camden's. No, it couldn't have been Camden Sermon. We'll see. He's going to split out wide to the left again over there. It's number 5. There you go. Mason Brown was on the catch and the play there. Second down and 3 after the 7-yard gain. They'll go his way again. He's got the ball and the first down for Wenatchee across the 35 out to the 37-yard line. Give the Panthers another first down.
And I'll tell you what, you know, it's height. We talked about that, or Coach Devereaux did, that might be a matchup they like, Eric. 6'5", I think, on a so much smaller defensive back, and they're going to go there a lot.
Yeah, he's matched up over there against number 12 for Moses Lake. They list him at 6 foot. I don't know about that.
Wow.
They also have Tristan Queen, who's only 5'5" over there. That's the matchup.
Right.
5'5" against 6'5".
You can see it right there, far side of the field.
Absolutely, pitch and catch that way. Again, it is Sermon calling the plays for Wenatchee. He gets the snap, going to turn, hand it off on a lay, and nothing happened in that time as Carson Evans makes his way into the backfield, makes a stop for Moses Lake, and a loss of 3-4 yards on the play, maybe even a 5 back to the 32 of Wenatchee.
And not exactly, Eric, how you want to run play action. That was pretty obvious what was going on there, and no doubt for Carson Evans, he stepped in and made that play.
So it'll be second down and long coming up here for the Panthers as Trey Stegman's out here on the near side along with Darius Carlson. The snap back to Sermon pervades the field. Now rolling to his right, looking downfield, throwing the ball, nearly picked off, coming and knocking that ball away. Leo Cortez, as it was intended for Trey Stegman, incomplete, brings up third down and long.
Dangerous pass on the run to your right, going back across the middle of the field, and that, you know, that's a play that only about Aaron Rodgers can make. Really, that's a tough play, especially for a high school quarterback.
So 3rd and 15 coming up for the Panthers. Scoreless ball game so far. Clock stops with 6:46 to go in the first quarter on the incomplete pass. So Moses Lake got the benefit of a penalty, took the ball right down the field, turned it over on downs. Wenatchee on their first possession here, trying to get a conversion on a 3rd and long. You hate playing behind the sticks. And now the running back moved, but he reset, so no flags coming. Sermon will throw it his way out of the backfield across the 40, but Moses Lake converges nicely over there as Tristan Queen comes up to make the stop on Nate Blauman after a decent gain out across the front end of the sticks, but they're going to be short on a 4th down and 4 at a punting situation for Wenatchee.
Too bad. That play, the 5-yard loss on that play action really hurt this drive. The Panthers were off and running and then just stalled out.
So the Panthers will punt the ball away. Back to return is Lorenz Thomas, a 5'5", 147-pound sophomore. The wobbly kick off the side of the foot of the punter. I thought it maybe hit a Moses Lake Chief in the back. It may have, because they scrambled for it. Lorenz Thomas finally covers it, and they'll have decent field position at their own 25-yard line after the punt, and it will go over to the Chiefs. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by the Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube, including front and four-wheel alignment. Online at alignpros.com or on Eastmont Avenue, 182 Eastmont Avenue. That's where you'll find the Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Along with Grant Olson, Eric Grandstrom here, and a cast of thousands bringing you the broadcast here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. Not literally, but here we go. Signorelli going to turn, hand it off, and again Campos with the carry, but Wenatchee smelling this one out nicely as the Panthers get into the backfield, drop him for a loss on the play. Getting back there, Jaden Christofferson with the tackle for a loss.
Good read by the defensive line by the Panthers that time. They snuffed that play out. The offensive line for Moses Lake a little bit late in shifting to that side, and the Panthers made him pay for it. Gave him a nice spot, too, by the way.
Yeah, they did. I thought he lost maybe 2 yards on that, and they'll give him about a half-a-yard loss. So second, officially 11 coming up as end of the ball game for Moses Lake. Checks Ricardo Santillan, and he'll bring the play in. Signorelli wants to go option right. He'll pitch it out there, and new running back in there as he's tripped out of bounds on the far side. This time, Rodney Fuchs with the carry, a 5'9", 195-pound senior. You've seen him in the past.
That's right. He's like a little bowling ball out there. He really is. He's hard to bring down, and he's a good runner. We'll see a lot of him tonight.
They'll put the ball at the 31-yard line, so a gain of 7 yards on that play. 6 yards, we'll call it. 3rd and 4 coming up for Moses Lake as the Wenatchee fans here at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl try to give a little noise here. Pretty good crowd made the trip over from Moses Lake as well. Ball right hash mark, 31-yard line, as Moses Lake sends trips to the left, and Signorelli looking that way to throw here. He'll throw deep downfield. The ball is tipped away and then almost caught. Beautiful play defensively by Ferris Nasser. The ball nearly caught, going down by Dalen Anderson. Incomplete, brings up 4th down.
Heck of a throw into double coverage, just off his fingertips, but the time that Signorelli had back there to throw, the Panthers cannot let that happen. They need to get some pressure on Signorelli, or he'll do that all night long.
Dalton Thomas back to receive the punt here from, and it is Signorelli that does the punting duty, so you always got to keep that in the back of your mind when you get somebody that's a quarterback back there. But he's, what, 15 yards deep.
Oh, yeah.
And takes some guts to do something trickery here in your own end of the field. The punting team pointing out who they need to block. The ball on the snap is low. Signorelli gets the punt away. Line drive, chance for a return here by Thomas. He comes right, has the wall set up, gets around the corner, spins his way at the 50-yard line, and almost broke it. But right there to spin him down was Mason Campos, and you got to have those kind of guys playing both ways for you to make a stop on the play.
He made 2 great moves on that run back. First, a stiff arm on Beniti Hernandez at about the 40-yard line. Then that spin move at the 45 got him up to the 50. So those 2 moves got him 10 yards.
Well, scoreless ball game, but Wenatchee with great field position at midfield as they'll go back on offense here as Camden Sermon, number 5 of the Big Nine, throwing with 424 yards coming in. He's thrown for just 1 touchdown and 1 interception. He's going to turn back, hand it to his running back, and left side goes Nate Blauen for a good gain across the into Moses Lake territory. They're going to spot him just inside the 45-yard line.
Boy, he runs hard. He's got good size, too, does Blauman. So he's a load to bring down. And didn't see him a lot on that first possession, but I think we will here.
Well, Blauman was injured all summer long. He didn't get a lot of chance, couldn't participate in the summer camp, and finally got a chance to get into the season. He missed the first game. They got him a lot of carries against the Canadian team here a couple of weeks ago, and he really carried the rock last week against Eisenhower in the win. Back to pass goes Sermon, looks right, now flushed out to his left, has time, has room to run if he wants to, and he will, but dances out of bounds on the far side at the 42. Going to be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Good job defensively by Gage Wilson coming over there. Excuse me, no, it was Tristan Queen who knocks him out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down coming up for Wenatchee.
Camden Sermon, he has to be the brother of Cy Sermon, a great football player here back in, 2009, 2010, so. One of the toughest kids Wenatchee's ever had. So,
well, and Sermon's a good football name. There was some Sermons down in the Tri-Cities out of Pasco that ended up in the NFL, as a matter of fact.
Right.
3:57, clock stops as Sermon went out of bounds on the far side. Looking at a 3rd down and 2 here for Wenatchee. He gets the snap, turns, hands it to Blauman. Nate picking his way, got a 1st down and more as he drags a man down to the 36-yard line. 1st down for Wenatchee on the carry by Nate Blauman.
What a tough run that was. He had about 3 chief defenders hanging on him at the 40-yard line, managed to get another 4.
6 yards on the gain there to the 36. So Wenatchee positive territory here on Moses Lake's side of the field for the first time really here tonight, as they're trying to break this scoreless tie. 2 receivers wide to the right, 1 wide left here, and a lone back is Blauman behind Sermon. He'll turn, throw near side. The ball caught over here inside the 30, and then spinning his way down. The ball came loose on a fumble as he hit the turf. It goes out of bounds harmlessly for Wenatchee. J.J. Jelsing on the reception, and pretty good movement downfield as well. A gain of about 7 yards on 1st down.
Panthers have some athletes, that's for sure. That was a great move to try and break free there and got him about 6.
Tristan Queen over there to make the stop. I think we're going to call his name quite a bit. One of the corners. The other corner, Leo Cortez for Moses Lake. He's got 2 men in front of him over there. And see if Sermon decides to go to the wide side of the field to his left. Back to pass, Sermon rolling to his left. Right-handed quarterback throws downfield and a little bit too high on the intended target. Again, it was Jelsing down there. But pretty decent coverage downfield by Leo Cortez brings up a 3rd down as the clock stops with 3:06 to go here in the first.
Once again, rolling out this time to the left for Sermon. He's only a sophomore, Eric, so he's got some development to do and some, just reps at making those passes. It's just a little bit high there, but I think it'll come to him. I like his arm strength.
Absolutely. I'm talking with Coach Scott Devereaux in the pregame show, saying that we got to try to keep the youngsters' heart rate down. We need it to be about 86 rather than 150 beats a minute. Sermon looking at a 3rd down, trying to control things here offensively with the ball to the right hash mark. He's got a defender coming right in his face, going to throw that way. Good job and a good pitch and catch, and a 1st down and more inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line on the pitch and catch to Mason Brown.
And that is a great throw by a sophomore quarterback on the slant, coming back to the middle of the field, right on the numbers, and I like that play a lot.
He had Joshua Williams, the outside linebacker, came cheating up on the end of the line, unblocked, coming right at his face. So what do? You throw right where that guy vacated. So 1st down and 10 for Wenatchee at the 16-yard line. Trying to break a scoreless tie here with 2:46 clock running in the first quarter. Sermon about 4 yards deep in the backfield. Gets the snap, fakes the handoff, throws over the middle. The wide open receiver with the catch and the touchdown, Wenatchee. It goes this time to Riley Coons, the 6'3", 235-pound junior. Hauls it in for the touchdown from 16 yards out.
I was watching Riley Coons earlier, Eric. He's such a huge target out there, as you mentioned. At 6'3", 235. He actually looks a little bit bigger than that, and he was wide open. I'd love to see the Panthers use that tight end a little bit more.
The hold here on the extra point will be by Mason Brown. It'll be, I believe, Ferris Nasser's out there for the PAT. Trying to tack on a 7th point here with 2:37 to go in the first quarter. The snap back, the spot down, the kick away, and it is good. And that was Nasser on the kick. So we will take a break here on our broadcast. 60 seconds, and we'll be back. 2:37 to go here in the first. Wenatchee strikes first. They lead Moses Lake 7-0. You're watching Big 9 football tonight on the NCWLIFE channel.
Watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street in Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frapitas.
A peach Red Bull.
So the Wenatchee Panthers get great field position and take advantage of it, going 7 plays, 50 yards. The touchdown pass from 16 yards. Sermon to Coons. Extra point makes it a 7-0 ball game with 2:37 to go. And a high short kick this time for Nasser. It bounces on the field turf. It's loose. The Panthers are going to cover it at the 26-yard line. Works just as good as a long onside kick. Great job by the Wenatchee coverage team, and coming up with the football, it's Jaden Christofferson.
What a play, and once again, momentum on the side of the Panthers. Special teams have been big so far tonight for the Panthers, and you know when you watch football games, either college or professional, you see the kickers once in a while do those kind of floaters, and just for that reason, that could happen, and it sure did for the Panthers that time. Big break.
So they'll have it at the Moses Lake 26 with 2:36 to go here in the first quarter, trying to add to it. Let's see if they go right for the end zone.
Blitz.
Sermon getting out of pressure, rolling to his left, got lots of room to run if he wants to, and he will stumble down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. It looked like he was trying to decide, do I slide? Do I slide? I don't know if I'm supposed to slide or not.
I don't think that's in him to slide. I can't see him sliding throughout his career, but we'll see.
I think Coach Devereaux saying, slide, slide.
And I made a mistake. I said he was up in the booth. He's not. We saw him on the sideline, so he is, in fact, down on the sideline.
I kind of wondered about that.
Right.
Second down coming up from the 19. Give Sermon a 7-yard gain on that play as Cam sets the offense, sends a wide receiver wide to the right. That's Jelsing over there, wide right. Gets the snap, turn, fakes the handoff, has pressure, rolls to his right, throws downfield, and it's caught by Jelsing at the 2, diving for the end zone, and he's in. Excuse me, it's Darius Carlson on the touchdown for Wenatchee. No, they're going to put him down at the 1-yard line. Oh,
wow.
Thought he was in.
First catch of the night for Carlson, 18 yards from Sermon, and he's having himself, Sermon is, quite a first half so far with 69 yards, 6 for 8 so far for Sermon.
Well, Nate Blauman, thanks to that big game, no, they're going to go on the keeper here and leaning towards the end zone. The officials are going to look at it, and oh my, I thought he got that ball across, but the officials are going to say no, he's short by about an inch of the goal line. Was Sermon on that dive play, quarterback keeper. It'll be second down from the 1-inch line.
Boy, literally the 1-inch line.
I'd just do it again. Moses Lake stack it up defensively right across from the center, and the snap back, and this time he's going to get the push, and he's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown Wenatchee. Sermon from a yard out. It's a 13-0 Wenatchee lead.
Second touchdown of the night for the sophomore Camden Sermon, a 16-yard pass, now the 1-yard run. Quite a first quarter for the youngster.
Panthers up just under a minute to go, and again give an assist there to Christofferson for covering that kickoff after it was fumbled away on a short kick, and give Nasser also an assist on that. Kind of like hockey. You get 2 assists on a goal, don't you?
You do.
All right, here comes Nasser to try to tack on the extra point out of the hole to Mason Brown. Snap back is good. The spot down and the kick is good as well. We'll take a 60-second break on the broadcast and come back with 59.8 seconds left here in the first quarter. Wenatchee over Moses Lake by a score of 14-0. You're watching Panther football tonight on the NCWLIFE channel.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Wenatchee takes advantage on the turnover on the kickoff, goes 4 plays, 26 yards, a minute 37 off the clock, and with 59 seconds left in the quarter, lead at 14-0. Ensuing kickoff again, another high short one. This time screaming forward is Lorenz Thomas on the return, and Moses Lake's going to have great field position here out across the 30 to the 31-yard line, and that's where they will have it. But he again was deep back at the 10-yard line, and a good idea by Nasser to kick that short. Almost came up with another one.
I think they'll probably catch on after a while here that he's not going to kick him that deep. But what a first quarter for Camden Sermon, Eric. 6 of 8, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns in that first quarter.
Wow, and we talk about this game and high school sports being games of momentum and the momentum swing. Chiefs look like they had it. They take their first possession of the ball game down to the 5-yard line. Turn it over on downs. It's been all Wenatchee since.
It really has.
So here we go. Signorelli behind by 2 scores. We're going to have this one blown dead before they even get it started on a procedure call against the offense. Again, Dennis Brandstetter is our white hat here tonight. Second penalty against the Chiefs. They'll march him back 5 yards, and you know, coaches will tell you too, especially when you've got some young kids out there, and boy do Moses Lake. They've got some seniors, but they also have some sophomores on the offensive line. Negative plays playing behind the sticks just makes it such a tough task.
And their shoulders are slumped a little bit now. This is where Coach Hayes has to say, hey, we're in the first quarter still. We're down 2 touchdowns. Let's get it back.
Well, and that might get it all in one play here across the 35 out to the 36-yard line. On the carry that time is Moses Garza, brought out of bounds here near side by Gavin Corrigan, but got the penalty yardage and some back across the 35 to the 36-yard, or make that the 37.
Once again, all made possible by great blocking on the left side of that line by the Moses Lake Chiefs. Blew that hole wide open, sealed off that defensive end, and that's what you do when you go around the corner, and they did it well.
Well, the tackle over here on that left side is Thomas Molitor with a big shock of blonde hair coming out of his helmet, and actually that he was the first one to move on that one, and it's a penalty against the Chiefs. Third down coming up, or no, it will be second down over again, but march them back almost to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and 9. Third penalty, 15 yards against Moses Lake. Signorelli a senior, Garza a junior, Campos a senior, Matheson a senior, Anderson a senior, Smith a senior. All of your talent positions for Moses Lake. Meanwhile, the Panthers are junior, senior, sophomore, senior on that front line. And they're going to go option play again. Signorelli wants to keep it. Got through the arm tackle of one Panther out to the 40-yard line before Gavin Corrigan finally brings him down. It's going to be third down and manageable, just a yard coming up for the Chiefs.
And surprisingly, what a great athlete he is, and we talked about him being dangerous on the run. That's his first carry of the night for those 9 yards.
Well, and he really studied the defense to see where that hole might develop, and made the wise choice, obviously. A big gain of 8 yards, going to be 3rd and 1 coming up.
And to make that option work, you have to have a quarterback with great vision, and he did right there.
Well, and patience as well.
Right.
Splitting out wide to the right here will be Spencer Smith in this wide formation, right side. The Signorelli turn, hands it to Campos, and Campos going to get across the 40, going to be awfully close to the first down. Excuse me, Garza on the carry to the 41 and then some, and it's going to be just enough for a first down for Moses Lake.
And a heck of a defensive play right there, too, by Chase Lloydhammer, 6'5", 205-pound junior on that tackle.
See, Eric Mendoza has checked in on the defensive line as well, but we're going to see the end of the first quarter come to a close here as we'll traverse ends and put Moses Lake back on the football with a first down as we come back. Through one here at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. It is Wenatchee leading Moses Lake 14-0. We'll come back after this 60-second timeout. You're watching Big 9 football on the NCWLIFE channel.
For watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel, brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frapita Mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
On the play by Signorelli is going to get out to near midfield. And the ball carrier that time for the Chiefs is Lorenz Thomas, who usually is a scat back on the kickoff and punt returns, but this time in there as a running back and a good gain on first down out to the 49.
Picked up nice 7 yards there. Boy, a lot of rushers in and out of the game. A lot of running backs so far. Good first half. Mason Campos for the Chief. 5 carries, 31 yards. Moses Garza, 3 carries, 25 yards.
Just underway, second quarter action here with Moses Lake having the football out near midfield. 2nd down and 4 coming up, and a handoff inside. And boy, not a lot happening this time around for Mason Campos as he's wrapped up immediately inside. And a good job again defensively for Wenatchee by Ronan Haynes, the 5'9", 190-pound senior, wraps him up, and a gain of maybe at 1. It'll be 3rd down and 2 coming up.
Some tough kids up front for the Panthers. Jaden Christopherson being one of them, as you talked about earlier. 5'10", 190, and he's right there on the defensive line.
3rd down coming up. Moses Lake's 3rd down efficiency so far. They did well on their first drive, but that's been it so far. 3rd and 2. Turn, handoff, and nothing happening at all. Smothered into the backfield is Garza. A host of Panthers getting through the line again. Leading the way, it was 54, Derek Graham.
And that time the offensive line of the Chiefs just kind of lost their way. They just kind of slumped down. The defensive line of the Panthers dominated the aggressiveness at the point of contact there, and that was why that loss there of 1.
Dalton Thomas drops back to return the punt here. It would seem anyway. This is that area of the field at midfield when you're trailing by 2 scores. Do you test the defense? Do you test the special teams and maybe go for it here on a 4th down and 2? Snap it to the up back, possibly. The quarterback, Signorelli, will get the pass from center, and so much for that thought as a high wobbly kick called for a fair catch by Thomas, and he'll make it at the 15-yard line. They'll chalk it up there, and that's where Wenatchee will start it. As we appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life Channel, our broadcast brought to you in part by our wonderful sponsors, including Automoca. What's your Automoca emergency? Visit one of their 6 locations in the Valley, including the only Automoca with inside seating on 5th Street across from Wenatchee Valley College. Also by Color Effects, offering screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and logo design for your team, school, business, or church at a fair price. Give them a call. They're locally owned for 20 years at 741-7609. That's 741-7609. Turn, handoff. Nate Blauman across the 20, tripped up and tumbled down at the 25. And if it not for Tristan Queen, Blauman might be still running.
Nice play that time. A little misdirection, fake handoff to the right side, seal block off from the line on the left, and that was a big hole for Blauman. Nice gain of 10.
This drive starting at Wenatchee's 15-yard line. It will be a 1st down after the 10-yard gain to the 25. Sermon gets the snap, turns, hands it off to Blauman again. Has room originally, but then it is quickly swallowed up by Queen, who comes up from his corner position, makes a good tackle, sure tackle, after a gain of just 2 on the play.
And that was no fault of the tight end, Riley Kuntz. I watched him that time, and he absolutely obliterated the linebacker of Moses Lake on that block. I like him. 6'3", 235. Nice. He's a good-looking player.
And he's a good target. He came up with the first touchdown of the night for Wenatchee on the receiving end. He'll line up as a tight end on the left side here. This formation on a 2nd down. Call it 7 coming up along 7. Kind of a low snap. Sermon rolls to his right, nice throws pass in there. Guess who? It's Coons over the middle across the 45 to the 47-yard line. 1st down, Panthers.
20-yard pass play from Sermon to Coons, and I'll tell you, the offensive line once again gave Sermon enough time to throw there, and the receivers are getting open for the Panthers.
They certainly are. Now watch this. Sneaking wide to the left side is Mason Brown, and he didn't go in the huddle. That's one of those where you hope the defenders don't see you over there, but they do as Leo Cortez comes out on him. 1st down and 10 from just across the 46-yard line for Wenatchee. Near midfield, turn, handoff, Blauman. He's just going to try to sprint his way across the 50 to the 49 before he's tackled down. Just if they're going to give you that wide open outside, run for green, get what you can, and then go down.
Once again, the offensive line doing a great job of sealing on that side, and that's the only way that play is going to work, is if you seal off that defensive end. Another nice job by not only the lineman, but the receiver had to come over and block as well.
Absolutely. Darius Carlson will lines up wide to the far side of the field, short side of the field to the right here for Sermon. On second down, call it a long 5, turn, handoff again. Blauman, right side, picks his way across, first down or more, inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Late flag will come in. We'll see what this is. Might be a late hit against the Chiefs. The tackle made by Joshua Williams, and the officials will meet after the gain what looks like a first down right now.
Chief defense is tired here. It's early in the second quarter, but they're getting hammered on now, and they're getting a little bit winded.
Well, that was a 10-yard run, and then add more to it on a hit to the helmet by the Chief defenders. Put another 15 on top of it. That's 4 penalties and 30 yards now for Moses Lake in the ball game. And after the penalty, it'll be first down for Wenatchee at the 24-yard line.
4 carries, 27 yards for Blauen on this drive.
And he probably would tell you, just keep feeding me, Seymour.
Absolutely.
Keep feeding me. Or Sermon, excuse me. Sermon about 4 yards deep, and we got motion, and let's see, flag comes down. This might be against the defense. I think Sermon was going to call a timeout. I don't think he liked the play call he had and wasn't quite sure about what was going on, but maybe bailed out by the defense right here. The officials having a conversation out on the surface here at Liebofdo Field, and it will be another penalty against Moses Lake.
Have the Panthers had a penalty yet tonight?
One penalty, 15 yards on that initial kickoff.
That's
return.
right.
And that's been it so far. 7:42 to go here in the first half. Wenatchee on top, 14-0. Appreciate you joining us on the NCWLIFE channel. Along with Grant Olson, I'm Eric Grandstrom here. Sermon gets a snap from center, going to go for the end zone, looking for Darius Thomas, overthrows him in the end zone. That'll be a second down, but I like that play call. You got first and 5. Why not open up the playbook?
And one thing that Sermon will learn, Eric, on that fade to the corners, you got to put some air under the ball. That was more of a, a little bit of a
dart.
rocket, a dart. Yeah, a little more under that ball. Let Carlson run underneath it.
Absolutely. And Darius, as we mentioned in the pregame, had a sore knee this week, didn't practice a lot. I asked Coach Scott Devereaux, is this a kind of a kid, though, that does he really need to practice? He goes, believe me, we don't have anybody good enough where they don't need to practice. Again, Carlson in the lineup will split out wide to the short side of the field. Turn, hand up, look out, bumping into each other. Sermon now wants to throw downfield. He's just going to throw it out of bounds, and they're going to throw a flag on that. It's not like the NFL. I believe they're going to call a grounding on the quarterback here, and that'll be a spot foul from where he threw the football, as they'll bring the flag back. The official getting an earful from the coaching staff for Moses Lake, and it will be grounding the well, that's not a grounding call. That's well, that signal there is that he passed the ball when he had passed the line of scrimmage.
Well, I didn't see that happen.
No, because the line of scrimmage is
right.
What, 19-yard line?
Absolutely.
So they're going to mark it from where the spot is, 5 yards back. And a loss of down on the play as well. So that would make it third down,
right?
I believe. It still says second down on the scoreboard. It still says second down on the placard over there.
That was odd.
That was odd. Well, you had to mention that the Panthers hadn't been penalized.
I did. That's me.
Now the coaching staff for Moses Lake saying, hey, this should be third down. So the official on the far side in front of the Moses Lake bench will come out and check with Dennis Brandstetter.
Yeah, if it's grounding, it's a loss of down.
It is. Brandstetter conferring with his umpire.
There we go.
Who helps keep the down marker on a little strap around your fingers.
Right, right.
So it will be third down on the loss of down. And the ball back at the 29-yard line. They're going to go an end around this time, and it does not go at all. Esquivel tackled in the backfield. Good job defensively for Moses Lake that time by Carson Evans. He sniffed that out wisely. Big loss on the play back to the 35 34-yard line.
But you know what, Eric, if Esquivel right there would have cut between the tackle and the guard, he had a huge hole right there. He chose to stay outside and allow that Chief to come up and make the tackle, but there was a giant hole between the left tackle and the left guard.
So the Panthers going to go for it here. Kind of no man's land. You don't want to punt the ball away. Maybe they'll just go for the end zone on a 4th down and 24 for the Panthers from their the Moses Lake 34-yard line. And he's going to go for the end zone, looking deep, and the ball is caught by one hand. A flag comes out. Let's see what the penalty is. But right now, it looks like an amazing catch from 34 yards out by Darius Carlson. But did he push off
I think
before
he did,
got
Eric.
the ball?
I saw a little push off at about the 1-yard line.
The Panthers,
but there was contact by both players.
Yeah, Panthers are clapping their hands, saying that no, they're going to wave the flag away, and it will be a touchdown.
Wow.
34-yard pass play. Sermon to Carlson, one-handed grab. How about that?
2 catches, 52 yards now in the game for Carlson, and that's the 3rd touchdown for Camden Sermon here in the first half.
How about that? 20-0 the score. Panthers going to try to tack on the extra point. Ferris Nasser out there will kick out of the hole to Mason Brown. The kick away, and it is good. We'll take a 60-second break and come back as the Panthers have extended the lead 21-0 with 6:39 to go here in the first half. We'll take this 60-second timeout. You're watching Big 9 football tonight on the NCWLIFE channel.
The pros, alignment pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Well, how about that drive for Wenatchee? 9 plays, 85 yards, 3 minutes and 9 seconds off the clock. The big play on 4th down, 34-yard touchdown pass from Sermon to Carlson. They drew it up that way, right?
I mean, who would have thought that we'd be sitting at 21-0 right now? The way Moses Lake drove up and down the field, their first possession or two, Wenatchee stalled out a bit. And now it's the other way around. Wenatchee's offense on a roll.
Nasser on the kickoff will be taken by the up man. He'll get across the 30 out to the 31 on the return there by Tristan Queen. And that's where Moses Lake will have it. First down and 6:33 to go here in the first half of play. And surprisingly, I think we all will say, surprisingly, Wenatchee up 21-0.
Oh, boy, big surprise. I figured our final might be 21-14, something like that. But, yeah, the offense of Wenatchee's coming to life tonight, and they're keeping their shutout intact so far.
No, you shouldn't have said anything.
Uh-oh.
You shouldn't have said anything.
I just blew that.
First down from the 31, bull right hash mark for Dominic Signorelli. He's going to go option left, pitch it back to his relation back there. That's Rodney Fuchs. Fuchs gets it around the corner.
What
and
a
good
run
up the far sideline all the way to the 40-yard line, gain of 9 yards.
He is a tough kid. Defensive back Trey Stegman felt that as he came up to make that tackle on the outside. Fuchs kind of lowered his shoulder and got another 3-4 yards.
Yeah, you're talking about bowling ball. 5'9", 195-pound senior.
I'm guessing he's probably a wrestler too, Eric. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. You know,
you would know that.
They do grow wrestlers really
yeah, they
well
do. They do.
Trips to the right this time on 2nd and 1. Let's see if they open up the playbook here. Sermon going to go option. He wants to throw it. Throws it over the midfield stripe, and the ball is caught there and dumped on his can as Chayton Fisk. But he will get the pitch and catch for the first down into Wenatchee territory.
12-yard gain there. Nice protection for Signorelli that time, and he got an arm on him. There's no doubt about that, but I was weird on the bottom of the screen. The receivers weren't all covered. There were 3 receivers and 2 defensive backs for the Panthers over there.
Well, I think the Panthers right now are just saying, go ahead, try to throw it.
See, we're seeing that again on the opposite side of the field.
Movement up front. I don't think the Panther went off sides, but I believe the official is going to say that it's offsides on the defense on the far side over there. Is that Derek Graham that jumped? No, Lloyd Hammer.
Yep.
Called for the penalty against Wenatchee. So you mentioned the penalty or lack of penalties against Wenatchee, and now suddenly
see, I've jinxed them there. Now they'll probably score.
3 penalties and 25 yards. Well, Moses Lake comes in the number 2 team in the Big Nine so far offensively, averaging 28 points a game.
Wow.
113 points so far on the season, 614 rushing yards coming in, 1,192 yards total. They're averaging 5.32 per play on the season. Back to pass. Signorelli looking downfield, and boy, that ball incomplete, right on the hands of the receiver. But how about the coverage downfield for the Panthers on that one? And again,
Dalton Thomas out there, Eric, made a great play on that. Boy, was that pass right on the money at the 10-yard line, but a great defensive play by Dalton Thomas.
Was it Thomas or Ferris Nasser?
I thought it was number 8.
Number 10, I thought.
It could be.
Again, you'll see it better on TV than what we can see it here. The challenge for our old aging announcer eyes is the fact that they got the black numbers on the purple jerseys. Trips to the left here, second down, and they're going to go handoff inside. Spinning is Fuchs, trying to reach for the first down. He's not going to get it. Going to bring a third down coming up as he got the ball to the 41-yard line. Tackle made inside by Jax Tucker, the 6', 205-pound junior, comes up and fills for Wenatchee.
And Mason Campos, Eric, after 5 carries and 31 yards in that first quarter, has not touched the ball here in the second quarter. He was a force in those first couple of drives.
Yeah, he's in there.
He is. Well, they're playing comeback football now, too, so it's not quite the same.
Changes your playbook a little bit. Trips again to the wide far side of the field to the left. And back to pass to Signorelli. Threw for the intended receiver who was just coming out of his route. But Spencer Smith didn't see the football. It sails over his head. Incomplete, brings up 4th down.
As a quarterback, you got to get the ball out quickly, and you got to get it out before the receiver knows that it's coming to you, but not quite on the same page there.
Well, he was open.
He was
I guess
open.
You could say. Sebastian Esquivel was coming in like a dart. It is an incomplete pass. Stops the clock with 5:02 to go here in the first half. Moses Lake trailing at 21-0. No surprise here. They're going to go for it, but no, we're going to get a timeout first. We'll take a 60-second break during the timeout as we'll come back after this. 5:02 to go here in the half. 21-0. Wenatchee on top of Moses Lake. We're back after this on the NCWLIFE channel.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
The Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Moses Lake going for it on 4th down on a pitch right side, and right there is the Panther defense to make the play. He's not going to get it. It was a pitch out to Moses Garza, and the first Panther to line him up and bring him down, Chase Lloydhammer. Second big play for Lloydhammer on the night.
He has been very solid in this first half. 6'5", 205-pound junior. And he's made some plays tonight from his linebacker position.
Second stop, turning the ball over on downs for the Panther defense tonight. Now Wenatchee has good field position with time, 4:55 to go in the half. So that's the dice you roll. And it could come out craps here for Moses Lake. Sermon back to pass, throws right. Watch out for the double pass here. That's a lateral. The ball is skipping. They're going to blow it dead. That was a pure lateral as the ball went out of the hands on the intended receiver. Wenatchee trying to set up the double pass over there as it went out into the flat to Mason Brown, and they blow it dead. And I am surprised, and I'm sure the chief coaching staff across the way saying, why you're blowing that whistle?
Well, didn't even have a good angle on that really to make that call, so just called it incomplete. You're right, though.
Great idea by the Panthers.
It was.
You got the momentum. You got good field position. Why not go for it?
And keep your foot on the gas is what you do here.
Absolutely. Brown will come splitting out to the left side, short side of the field on 2nd down and 10 with the clock stopped on the incomplete. 4:48 to go in the half. And now we're going to get official blowing it dead here and a timeout. We're going to keep it right here on the broadcast and remind you that our broadcast brought to you in part by Global Car Care, a quality auto repair facility with highly trained technicians. Celebrating 25 years in the car care business, they speak your car's language at 1840 North Wenatchee Avenue. Also by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consultation services online at onewayconstructionnw.com. Well, this is fun, Grant. Get a chance to have our... Now, what the folks watching at home can't see is that we are across from all of our cameras. We're across from our broadcast van. We're way up high over here in the Pioneer side of the stadium here at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. And this is a gorgeous spot from our broadcast location.
I don't think there's any better spot than this than Big 9 really to do a game.
Definitely
just
not.
Perfect.
You know, the way we are perched here, it is an interesting climb to get up here. Here's a handoff to Blauman. Nate across midfield. Spins down. Almost kept his feet. If he could have kept clawing his way, maybe would have found himself into the end zone, but it is a gain all the way to the Moses Lake 42-yard line. Gain of 12 yards for Nate Blauman.
It was like 19-yard on that gain, Eric, all the way down to the 41, and that's a nice run. He's having a great second quarter on the ground.
So Wenatchee back in Moses Lake territory again, trying to get some more here with 4:30 left in the first half, and now 2 timeouts remaining for the Panthers. Sermon surveys the defense, 4-man defensive front for Moses Lake. Turn, fakes the handoff, throws down over the field. The ball is intercepted. Threw it behind the intended receiver who was looking for Coons. Coming up with the ball, Joshua Williams, and that will turn it over for the first time tonight.
First turnover for the Panthers, and they were rolling once again on offense, moving down the field. So we'll see now if this maybe switch the momentum back to Moses Lake a little bit here late in this first half. Boy, they could sure use some momentum.
4:20 remaining here in the first half. As Moses Lake gets the ball after the interception by Williams at their own 25-yard line. Moses Lake's been moving the ball well between the 30s, but that's about it. So here come the Chiefs back on offense. Signorelli going to go for it, winding up, throwing downfield. The ball caught at midfield and hanging on to the football after he's belted by Sebastian Esquivel is Dalen Anderson. The 6'1", 180-pound senior makes a big grab, and suddenly momentum on the side of the visitors from Grant County.
Nice 29-yard gain. The first catch for Anderson on the night of 29 yards, and Moses Lake on the move.
Chiefs, I'm surprised not running a little more tempo here as the ball rests at the 46 of Wenatchee. I thought they'd come right back to the line of scrimmage.
So did I.
Snap the ball and take it to the Wenatchee defense. But grasping a little gulp of air here are the Chiefs. They'll send 3 receivers wide to the far side of the field to the right. Turn, fake the handoff, throwing downfield and skipping in front of the intended receiver, Chayton Fisk, was the quarterback Signorelli, getting some pressure up front from the 6'5", 205-pound junior Chase Lloydhammer.
Once again, Lloydhammer playing a great defensive first half and good pressure. He's got that size, so if you're coming in with your hands up, it makes it tough on quarterbacks. He's 6'5" out there, and that helps a bunch.
He's got a great football name, too. Chase Lloydhammer.
It's about as good as it gets.
You love that, especially if he's playing a defensive end position.
That's right.
It's like he's giving chase of the quarterback and bringing the hand. Second down from the 46. 2 receivers right. Signorelli rolling that way, getting pressure again, throwing deep downfield. This one's going to be picked off easily for Wenatchee. Coming back the other way, Dalton Thomas to the 40. We've got a flag down at the 50. Thomas near sideline and will still remain on his feet. Finally tackled down at the 34 of Moses Lake after a 26-yard return. But let's check the flag and see what it says.
I think we might add a hold right at about that 41, 42-yard line.
So the interception, it seems, would hold, and that was on the return. So Wenatchee will maintain possession here, but we'll just have it a little bit further back.
That throw got away from Signorelli a little bit that time.
It did. Yeah, it was. He threw that in a sea of purple.
He did.
There was no doubt that that ball was going to be picked off. So illegal use of the hands is the official determination here by our crew tonight. So the 10-yard penalty will be the 4th of the ball game against Wenatchee. 4 penalties, 35 yards. 5 penalties, 35 yards against Moses Lake. That'll bring the ball all the way back to the 37-yard line. So Wenatchee had it at the 42 moments ago, turned it over on an interception. They get the ball back on an interception. They get it at the 32.
Lost about 10 yards.
Yeah, 10-yard differential there. 3:34 left here in the first half as Wenatchee gets the ball back. The officials trying to get things set on the far side as far as the chains are concerned. It should be 1st and 10 because the penalty was on the return. There we go.
There we go.
They had it 1st and 15 for a moment, but now the chain gang gets right on the far side. And I'm glad they stop it and make sure they get it right.
Absolutely.
Before they snap the football. Speaking of which, Sermon gets the snap, turns, hands it to Blauman again, trying to get a seal block around the corner. Got away from one man, but then tackled into his own bench. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play for Nate Blauman on that one. And a good job by Moses Lake coming over and converging on the ball. Tim Babick, the 5'10", 225-pound senior, leading the way on that one.
Not much room to run for Blauman there. He did shake the initial tackle and then got a couple of yards, or about a yard, and that's it.
So 2nd and 9 coming up. The clock will continue to run here as they say his momentum was stopped before he was pushed out of bounds. Jelsing will split out wide to the right on 2nd and 9 for Cam Sermon. Sends a man in motion as Brown. Turn handoff to Blauman. Blauman's got a good block in front of him across the 40 to the 41 before he spun out of bounds here near side. Chasing over was Carson Evans, the 230-pound senior, brings him out of bounds, but not before Blauman gets a gain all the way to the 42, near a first down.
Nice gain of 8, but it was made possible by Andy Jimenez, the big left guard. Got that block, 5'9", 235-pound junior, and made that happen. Nicely done.
Well, they're going to say that's a 10-yard gain and a first down for Blauman. So they didn't get a couple of spots earlier. They get a nice spot on this one. And it will be a first down for the Panthers. They'll restart the clock after they reset the chains at 2:48 to go here in the first half. Wenatchee on top, 21-0. Sermon wants to go deep on this one. Throws downfield. The ball intercepted right there for his 2nd interception in a row. Joshua Williams, and Sermon just didn't see him.
He did not see him at all, and he had Darius Carlson running down the sideline, Eric, about 30 yards down the line of scrimmage, and he was wide open.
So it's potato, potato. Who wants the potato here? A little hot potato going on with this football right now as we've had back-to-back-to-back interceptions.
Crazy.
2 by Moses Lake and 2 by the same guy, Joshua Williams, on the interception. The return down to the Wenatchee 41-yard line. So decent field position and 2 timeouts remaining for Moses Lake here in the first half. So the Chiefs trailing at 21-0, trying to snap the string here. Trying to get into the end zone, and Panthers, of course, trying to limit that. They haven't done it in 2 weeks. Back to pass, Signorelli, flushed out of the pocket left. Throwing, wants to throw deep downfield. The ball is almost intercepted at the 50-yard line.
That would have been unbelievable. 4 in a row would have been unbelievable.
Stepping in front right there was Sebastian Esquivel. They call him Seabass, and Seabass had easy pickings on that fish. But just couldn't come up with it. 2nd down and 10. If you can't have fun, then what's the point of doing
I don't even know how to comment on that.
It's
so good.
Left here in the first half as the clock stops. 3 receivers wide to the far side of the field to the right. Again, Signorelli wants to go option this time. Going to pitch it back, and here comes Fuchs again. Fuchs gets his way all the way down to the 30-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down on an 11-yard gain, and it will be first down for Moses Lake at the 30. Good play call on that one.
That really was a nice blocking up front. Very good blocking, and it led by number 69, Sebastian Rodriguez, on that right side.
So Moses Lake shuttles their plays in, and that can be kind of a hindrance if you're trying to go hurry. But Moses Lake may be trailing it by 3 scores right now, and the way the ball's been turned over lately, maybe they don't want to hurry.
They might just want to make sure they get 1 here, right?
Weston Mize is the center, snaps it back to Signorelli. Here comes the pressure again, rolling to his right, throwing back across. The ball caught there at the 20-yard line, and coming up with a catch is Campos. We haven't called his name in a while, but he's on the receiving end of a gain, and they're going to give him a first down at the Panther 19-yard line.
Nice gain of 12, and he had good hands. He caught a pass in the first quarter as well out of the backfield. He's got some good hands, and that's such a weapon when you can just roll your running back out of the backfield uncovered a lot of the times.
Rolling out, Signorelli's had a good look at things here as they've rolled him out a few times to the short side of the field to the right. He's got a first down and 10 from the 19-yard line. Here comes the blitz inside. Going to pitch it. Look out this time. And a chance to make a tackle for a loss, but scampering away is Fuchs. He'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and then maybe a yard to the 18. No, they're going to put him down at the 19. No gain on the play, but a good job by the defense for Wenatchee to get out there and flush him and hold on for dear life, because with that blitz coming inside, if he could have popped that outside, he may have found the end zone.
Nice job by Lazaro Gutierrez. Made that stop, the senior defensive back, strong safety I should say, but he held on for dear life and held that to no gain.
Our broadcast brought to you in part by The Windmill, a time-tested restaurant providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room, open 7 days a week, 4:30 to 9. Call 509-665-9529. Also by Charter College. Charter types find solutions. Are you a charter type? They work to get you to work. Call 509-415-3576. And by the Walkabout Grill, where eating out is eating healthy in downtown Wenatchee and downtown Leavenworth. Along with Grant Olson, I'm Eric Grandstrom. The Chiefs trying to get some points here, trailing at 21-0, have just used their second timeout, so they have one left as they look at a second down, call it 9, as the ball rests just at the 19-yard line. As Dominic Signorelli, the 6'1", 175-pound senior, tries to figure out this Panther defense. Sends a man in motion, going to throw it to him out in the flat. The ball caught, and it's Campos inside the 15 and down to, Garza on the reception and down to the Wenatchee 12. Pretty good job of flushing out in the flat for the Panther defense to keep that to a minimal gain.
Gain of about 8 there for Garza, but another nice throw by Signorelli. It almost feels like he's kind of finding himself now in this football game.
Under a minute to go here in the half. 3rd down and 3. Signorelli wants to go option again. He'll pitch it to Garza. Garza has a first down before he's hit hard at the 6-yard line. Oh my goodness. Say hello to my little friend.
Oh man.
Coming up and putting the lick on him there. I believe that was Ferris Nasser, number 10 for Wenatchee.
Wow.
Who just came over and belted the ball carrier, but he did get a first down to the Wenatchee 6.
You're exactly right, too. Here's the replay coming up, and yeah, it was Nasser all the way there with that pop. Wow.
He's got 3 receivers wide to the far side of the field right, wants to look that way. Minute timeout.
Können Sie mir das Problem sagen? Meinen Zylinder überschwimmen. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren. Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragenschlüssel. You.
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street in Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Little miniature cheer squad out on the field here at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl, led by the Wenatchee cheerleaders. Doing a great job here at halftime, and talking about a great job for the Wenatchee Panthers in that first half. It didn't look good to start, Grant Olson, as Wenatchee kicked the ball away. Moses Lake got a decent return out to the 31-yard line, and then suddenly flags flew on our first play of the game. 15 yards on a late hit whistled against Wenatchee. 15 yards later, they've got the ball at the 46-yard line for their first possession. Bam, 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 running the football like they were a hot knife through butter, and it looked like, oh my, this is not going to be good for the home team tonight.
It went forward on like 4th and 2, I think, from about the 8-yard line or something to 6, and didn't get in, and Wenatchee took over from there on downs, and it was just the momentum changed right at that moment.
It really did. Wenatchee was not able to really take advantage of that turnover on downs from their own 5-yard lines, but it became a possession game at that point, and field position game at that point, as Wenatchee was able to move it out near midfield before they finally punted the ball away. Moses Lake would get the ball, a 3-and-out and a punt. Wenatchee got a good return, got the ball at the 50-yard line, and this is when they take advantage as the momentum gained for the boys in purple as they would go 7 plays, 50 yards, 2 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock, and with 2:37 to go in the first quarter, it was Sermon finding Coons for a 16-yard touchdown pass. The point after touchdown made it a 7-0 lead for Wenatchee, and suddenly it was like momentum big time on the side of the Panthers.
Oh, it really was. A great play calling, especially on that first drive of that touchdown. They mixed up the run and some nice play action, and that was a nice drive by the Panthers.
Well, and then momentum would certainly stay the way of Wenatchee after a short kickoff was fumbled around by the return team, loose on the turf, and Christofferson covered it for Wenatchee, gave the Panthers the ball at Moses Lake's 26-yard line. Didn't take any time at all. 4 plays, 26 yards. Sermon was able to lead it in for a touchdown on the quarterback keeper from just an inch out, all it was, but officially 1-yard touchdown run. Just a minute 37 seconds off the clock, and with just under a minute to go in the first quarter, Wenatchee suddenly up 14-0, and every ounce of momentum on the way of Wenatchee's side.
And then it turned into kind of an interception fest there for a while. Both quarterbacks, Camden Sermon throwing 2 interceptions, Signorelli throwing 1, and we almost had 4 in a row if it wasn't for a drop there. So then the momentum you can't say anything about momentum when you keep throwing it back and forth to each other, but that was an opportunity for Moses Lake at times there to get back into this.
Certainly was. Now, prior to the interception fest we had, Wenatchee's defense again came up strong and held on a situation out at midfield. Moses Lake looked like we were putting a good drive together, but the defense comes up strong, makes the stop. They get the ball back at a punt at their own 15-yard line, and Wenatchee methodically marches down the field, mixing pass, mixing run. Sermon on a 4th down and forever, what was it, 4th and 24, I think, from the 34-yard line, somehow was able to find Darius Carlson with a gorgeous left-handed one-hand grab in the end zone as he came up with that football somehow or to other on 34 yards out. The extra point made it a 21-0 ball game with 6:39 to go, 9 plays, 85 yards. Of course, a bunch of that on the one play, 3 minutes and 9 seconds off the clock. And if you're Coach Devereaux and his staff, you got to think, wow, that was a nice drive exactly when we needed it.
If somebody could have told him that you'd be up 21-0 in this game, he'd say, I'll take it and just stop the game right there. Yeah,
absolutely. Moses Lake got the ball again would turn it over on downs as they found themselves behind in the scoreboard, 21-0 from their own 41-yard line. They would turn the ball over on downs. Wenatchee, again, then we got into that interception fest. First of all, on a first down from the 42 of Moses Lake, an interception by Sermon thrown to Joshua Williams, and Moses Lake gets the ball back. But again, after a great play for the Chiefs on their first down play, they get it out into Wenatchee territory from their own 25-yard line, but then 2 plays later, turn the ball right back over again as Wenatchee's Thomas comes up with the interception.
It was kind of that kind of first half, especially late in that first half, late in the second quarter, back and forth. Nobody really established anything from about 6 minutes till the end of the half. So it'll be interesting to see. Wenatchee now gets the ball to start the second half, and we'll see if they can keep the momentum up on offense.
After the interception by Dalton Thomas, it gave Wenatchee a pretty decent field position at its own 32-yard line, but then 3 plays later, after a first down at the 43 of Wenatchee, again, it would be an interception by Williams, excuse me, of a pass by Sermon, and it was one of those where where are you throwing that football?
He didn't see the guy. Yeah, that's plain and simple on that interception.
Didn't see him, and so Moses Lake gets the football. They get it down to the 15-yard line right before half, but they try and literally try again to get it in the end zone, and the defense for Wenatchee just a stalwart from the 15-yard line saying, no, we've pitched 2 shutouts in a row. We're not going to let you do it, at least here in this first half.
You think that's in the back of their mind when they're out there? They want that shutout.
There's a pride factor. You better believe it.
Absolutely. And I noticed something late in that second quarter too, Eric. The defensive line and linebackers for the Panthers, they were doing a little more blitzing, but they were getting better penetration into that Moses Lake secondary, the backfield, and that could be a big factor here in this second half.
Absolutely. Chase Lloydhammer had a great first half from his defensive end position. Derek Graham was key in there as well. Ronan Haynes getting some pressure, making some stops for short gains. And then Jaden Christofferson coming from his linebacker position. Gavin Corrigan doing a great job chasing sideline to sideline. Got to give a lot of credit to that Wenatchee defense.
And the Nassers put on a couple of big hits in that first half. Dalton Thomas, some big plays on knocking some balls down, and they've done a fantastic job.
Well, the Golden Apple Marching Band entertaining here at halftime. I should say the award-winning Golden Apple Marching Band is doing a great job entertaining a big crowd here at the Apple Bowl tonight, and we will take another 2-minute timeout and talk about the numbers of that first half when we come back. 21-0 Wenatchee over Moses Lake in the first half. We'll take another 2-minute break and come back. You're watching Big 9 football tonight, live from Leibofto Field of the Apple Bowl on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
I'm circling down. I'll try to grab Devereaux and see if maybe we can get a player or two to come over and join us on the post.
That'd be fine. Yeah, that'd be great.
Maybe Dan can help us out on that as well. Seconds.
Können Sie mir das Problem sagen? Meinen Zylinder überschwimmt. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren. Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragenschlussen. Hey, you.
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street in Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529. The award-winning Golden Apple Marching Band entertaining here at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl here at halftime. As the Wenatchee Panthers lead the Moses Lake Chiefs 21-0, along with Grant Olson. I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCWLIFE channel. Well, Grant, tell us about the numbers and how that played out in that first half.
Well, I know I surprised you right off the bat during the commercial break. You thought Moses Lake might have more total yards, but they don't. Moses Lake 162 total yards in that first half. The Panthers 215. And I'll tell you what, it was Camden Sermon 9 of 14, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Sermon. He also had 4 carries for 12 yards and a touchdown in that first half. So the Panthers 67 yards on the ground and those 125, or I should say 90 yards on the ground and 125 through the air for Wenatchee. Leading the way on the ground, Nate Blauman, 10 carries, 67 yards in that first half. Camden Sermon, as I mentioned, 4 carries for 12 yards. Dalton Thomas, 1 carry for 11 yards. For the receiving end of things, Darius Carlson's only caught 2 passes tonight, Eric, but for 52 yards in that first half. Mason Brown got a lot of catches early, not much in the second quarter. 3 catches, 27 yards, and 2 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown for tight end Riley Coons. Also a catch each for Nate Blauman, and J.J. Jelsin also caught a pass, 1 pass for 6 yards. Other than that, it's been all Wenatchee, especially Sermon. I think that first quarter he had 71 yards passing and added another 60 or so, 55 in that second. He's played well for a sophomore. So Panthers lead the total yards 215, 162 at the half.
And you look at what they've averaged so far this season, 255 yards a game as the Wenatchee Panthers. They only need 40 more yards and they got their average. They're going to need a lot more than that. And that's certainly something that they just can't rest on a 21-0 lead against a team like Moses Lake. And I think even though they didn't get into the end zone right before the halftime, their quarterback Signorelli kind of started to warm up a little bit. And I think they found a recipe that they were liking of getting him out of the pocket and giving him a chance to survey the field a little more.
That's exactly what I think we're going to see out of Moses Lake in the second half. And for Wenatchee, Eric, they mixed it up so well in that first half. Pass, run, slant passes, little bubble screens. That's what they need to do. Keep the foot on the gas this second half.
Well, we liked what we saw with that. Speaking of which, when they did get those momentum swings and did get the chances for big play opportunities, they took a stab down the field.
And they made Moses Lake pay for their turnovers. An interception turned into a touchdown for Wenatchee, and I think a second turnover also turned into a score for the Panthers. That's what you have to do to win against a decent team. Make them pay for turnovers.
We're going to take a 2-minute break. Teams coming out of the locker locker room. Moses Lake Wenatchee is here, so we are in that mandatory 3-minute warm-up time. So we'll take a 2-minute break and come back, get you ready for the second half. Coming up next, it is Wenatchee 21, Moses Lake nothing. Second half still to come next on the NCWLIFE channel. For watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel, brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frapitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Choose the pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Kickoff, Wenatchee on top, 21-0. And Grant, they get the football to start this second half.
They do, and they can keep this momentum going that they had in that first half by having a nice long drive or even a quick play here for a score would really, really hurt Moses Lake Chiefs in this second half. So this is a big drive for both these teams, especially Moses Lake on defense.
The opening kickoff here of the second half brought to you by Swoboda Photography, creating a custom boutique experience on location or at their studio in Leavenworth. Give them a call, 509-888-6654. That's 888-6654. Speaking of Leavenworth, we should mention that we're going to be broadcasting the Autumn Leaf Parade tomorrow live here on the NCWLIFE channel. We will be up in Leavenworth for that. It's getting underway about noon tomorrow. So be sure and tune in for that. And man, I tell you, we were down here on the field before the game. I just cannot imagine a more perfect fall. I guess autumn. Are we officially autumn?
We are in autumn.
Okay. And I don't know. I don't think we had a freeze yet, did we? I know we had some cold temperatures up on Badger, but I don't think we had a freeze here yet.
I think the coldest temperature at Pangborn so far has been about 45.
Okay. All right. So not an Indian summer, if you will.
No.
As we get ready for the second half, the man who will kick it off here for Moses Lake will be Bradley Matheson, the 5'10", 140-pound senior. Will tee it up at the 40-yard line. Meanwhile, back to return for Wenatchee to start things off here. Sebastian Esquivel and Ferris Nasser will drop back to return the opening kickoff. And we are underway, and a high end-over-end kick will be taken by the return man at the 12, 15 on the return. Comes around the 25, 30, 35, 40, up to midfield. He's got two blockers in front, and then finally drugged down on a beautiful return by Dalton Thomas. He'll get it inside the Moses Lake 30-yard line, and we talked about momentum. That's a huge way to get momentum right there on the return, 62 yards.
And it doesn't always have to be the offense or the defense. Special teams can provide that momentum boost too, and that's exactly what happened there. Great downfield blocking by the Panthers special teams players, and a great run by Dalton Thomas. Look at this field position, 27-yard line.
First down for Wenatchee. Panthers taking the snap as Sermon. He'll turn, hand it off to Blauman, running around the right side, but grabbing a hold of his shoulder pad jersey and ripping it nearly off of his body. That time was Carson Evans, the big 5'10", 230-pound senior, says, I don't think so. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
He's made a few plays tonight, Evans, from that defensive end position. Not that tall, and he's got some weight to it, but he can get up and down that line quickly.
Again, the offensive line's done a good job here for Wenatchee tonight to give time for Sermon back there. Christensen, Bentley, Jimenez, Black, and Cass. The line here for the Panthers. Sermon comes over to the near side, gets a word from his coaching staff, gets the snap from center, looks left, throws left. Ball caught over there by Darius Thomas, dancing around one man, trying to break the tackle. Can't do it, though. Got it down to the 20. It'll be 3rd down coming up for Wenatchee.
Nice play, though. Nice downfield blocking by the receiver, Mason Brown, at 6'5", down the far side of that field. He sealed off that defensive back and allowed that play to happen. If that block doesn't happen, that play doesn't happen.
At the 21, so a gain of about 6 yards on the pass play will bring up 3rd down, call it 3 for Wenatchee, ball left hash mark. Splitting out wide to the left, Mason Brown over there to the short side of the field. Wide right goes Jelsing along with Carlson, and Moses Lake jumps off sides as Wenatchee set the offense, and then you have that option where you look to the sideline, and everybody moved, and I think they're going to call this against Moses Lake. Dead ball. No, they're going to call a false start against Wenatchee.
Wow.
Boy, you never see that.
Wow.
That'll be the 5th penalty of the game against the Panthers for 40 yards, so that's something the coaching staff is not going to like. But they came to the line of scrimmage, set the offense, and I think because the quarterback moved and a wideout on the on the left side moved at the same time, that brought the defense across the scrimmage, and that is what killed the play right there. I think, honestly, Grant, if the defense doesn't jump over, they just let it go.
I think so, too.
But they call it against Wenatchee, so that makes it a 3rd and long here. 3rd and call it 7 now for the Panthers from the 26 of Moses Lake. Sermon in the pocket, looking downfield, now throwing the ball caught. It's Mason Brown inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line, again taking advantage of that 6'5" frame, and the 1st down for Wenatchee and goal to go.
Such a big target out there for Sermon. He was looking, I thought he might have been throwing to the underneath man, and then Brown shows up in the backfield there, makes a great catch, and another nice pass by the sophomore Sermon.
20 yards on the pass play to the 6-yard line, and we got to give credit to the offensive line there. He had forever to throw that football.
He really did.
And purvey the field. Sermon sets him up here, 1st down and goal from the 6-yard line. Turn, handoff, Blauman, dive play inside, got it inside the 5, down to the 3, as he was wrapped up by Benici Hernandez, a 225-pound junior, grabbed a hold of his waist and brought him down again to the 4-yard line.
Boy, Blauman, such a great, tough runner, isn't he? He gets those yards nobody else wants to get, and just a big, solid kid.
Panthers trying to put the foot down here, leading at 21-0, trying to add to it. Handoff, Blauman dancing around the left side, and ouch, that hurts as he was stood up and then driven back. The last hit was applied by Tristan Queen as he had a couple of bodies around his ankles. I think Joshua Williams was there as well for the Chiefs. It'll be no gain on the play. 3rd down and goal coming up from the 4.
And that's what you call a good old-fashioned high-low right there. Somebody's got a hold of your legs and somebody comes up high and you just get popped.
Well, good thing for the Panthers that Nate Blauman is okay after that play on the run around the left side. Clock continues to wind here, starting at the 3rd quarter after a fantastic kickoff return by Dalton Thomas of 62 yards. 3rd down and goal from the 4. And now they're going to shift the offense. 2 tight end set here, and a snap back, fake of the handoff to nobody, throwing the end zone, the ball caught, touchdown. Again, it's Coons from 4 yards out on the pass play to Sermon. Beautiful throw in the end zone and the touchdown. The Panthers extend the lead to 27-0.
4th touchdown of the ball game for sophomore Camden Sermon. 1 rushing, now 3 passing. He had 2 in the 1st half, and also the 2nd touchdown of the ball game for the big tight end Riley Coons. And what a weapon I think he is.
Nasser will try to tack on the extra point. He's been perfect so far in this one. By the way, Ferris had the flu all week long. Didn't really practice that much. They didn't know if he was going to be available for the game tonight. The snap back, Brown with the spot, the kick away, no problem at all. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with Wenatchee extending its lead here, 28-0 over the Chiefs. 8:15 to go in the third. We're back after this on the NCWLIFE channel.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
So after the big 62-yard kickoff return by Thomas, the Panthers take it 7 plays, 28 yards. The touchdown pass, Sermon to Coons from 4 yards out. Extra point makes it a 28-0 lead for Wenatchee. 8:15 to go here in the third quarter. And now Moses Lake will touch the ball offensively for the first time here tonight. On the return is Lorenz Thomas trying to pick his way around the defense across the 20.
Can't get him
spins
down.
away from another man at the 25 and finally brought down at the 28-yard line. A little pushing and shoving after the play, and a pretty decent return that time. They obviously wanted to bring it back around the wall to the right side. Long run for Thomas just to get there.
Yes, it was. And Eric, this is a perfect example why if you win the opening coin toss and you defer, you get the ball in the second half first, you go score. And that's exactly why it's done like that, and Wenatchee did it to perfection thanks to that long run back.
Moses Lake with the football out at their own just across the 33-yard line, ball right hash mark. Again, it is Dominic Signorelli, who seemed to start to warm things up in the latter portions of that first half as they moved him out of the pocket. We'll see if they do that more here in this third quarter as they basically have to throw the ball now, trailing it by 28 points.
Well, remember, Eric, they started the first quarter off running the ball, so Signorelli didn't even have to throw it in the first.
Well, they run it here on a handoff dive play up the middle to Mason Campos. He was the guy who had the big gallops in that first possession of the ball game. This time he gets it across the 30 to the 32-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 coming up.
I don't know if Moses Lake will go right back to their original game plan. They're starting off like they started off the game, but you're down now 28-0. Can you go back to this kind of run attack? We'll see.
Signorelli wants to go option right this time and wanted to pitch it, but Wenatchee just shut the door on him, so he has to lean across the 35 out to the 36, and that's all. Good job of pitch relation there by the defense on the far side of the field by Wenatchee, and I believe getting out there and kind of inhibiting that toss over there was Jax Tucker.
Signorelli just ran out of room for that pitch room on that sideline over there and decided, well, he had to keep it. 2 Panthers right on him.
Signorelli, we talked about his basketball prowess. That's like going down the lane and you're left with nothing but a chance to shoot. Everybody else is blocked. And now a handoff inside. Dive play for Fuchs, and he's going to be close to a first down. They are going to give him a first down at to the 39 after a 3-yard gain.
So once again, Moses Lake going back to this ground attack. We saw it in the first quarter. They were successful with it, turned it over on downs. And Wenatchee, scoring's been on from them. But it looks like the same kind of start, doesn't it, to the second half that we saw at the beginning of the game?
It does. They're not gulping up the yards like they were in that first possession of the ball game as they got all the way to Wenatchee's 5-yard line and then turned it over on downs as the defense stiffened at that point. First down from the 39. Moses Lake option left this time. Pitch back to Fuchs. Fuchs has the corner, but then quickly coming over. Great job converging by Trey Stegman to keep him for a short gain on the play. That looked like it had a lot more written on it.
It sure did. One of the Panther defenders fell down on that too. I believe it was Nasser from his cornerback position and couldn't make the tackler. He'd have been there too.
Gain of just 3 yards brings up 2nd down and 7. Shuttling the play in is Chayton Fisk, the 6-foot, 160-pound senior here for Moses Lake. Will relay the signal from the sidelines to Dominic Signorelli. He'll snap or break the huddle, bring everybody up. He's got next to him Campos, behind him Fuchs, and they'll turn and hand it to Campos, and Campos across the 45 out near another 1st down, going to be maybe about a yard shy. So they are having success, and maybe at this point, Grant, I don't know if you say hoisting the white flag, but let's go back to our base offense.
Well, I think that's what they're doing. I mean, there's still plenty of time in this game, and they can score some touchdowns. So I think they want to get this first one under their belt, establish a drive, and show Wenatchee that they've got a team they're playing against here.
5:17 though, the clock runs. We're already halfway through the 3rd quarter as Wenatchee leads it 28-0. The crowd raises its voice to the heavens on a 3rd down and call it 1 near midfield. Turn, handoff, Fuchs not going to get there. Nice job splitting inside by Eamon Haugen, the man who joined us on the pregame show. Haugen, the senior, comes through with a stop. It's going to be a 4th down.
Wow, great play and great just intuition on what that play was going to be. Gets in there and makes the play, and the punting unit coming out.
Wow.
A little bit of a surprise.
I am surprised about this.
I'd be watching here for the Panthers for something.
Well, Dalton Thomas, last time he touched it on a return, watch out far sideline there.
Nobody's even covering him over there.
They've got a man that's wide open over there. Now a timeout going to be wisely taken by the coaching staff here near side as Scott Devereaux takes his headset off in disgust because nobody covered Joshua Williams on the far side of the field. They would have had a touchdown had they snapped that ball.
Holy cow. Wide open over there with the quarterback. As you mentioned, the punter, that's an easy 6.
A reminder, our broadcast brought to you in part by the Windmill Restaurant of Wenatchee, priding itself on being a local legend for 80 years. The Windmill features slow-roasted prime rib, highest quality hand-cut steaks, and fresh seafood. Homemade dressings and pies are made daily and are the mainstay of this legendary landmark restaurant. Windmill has a full bar and excellent selection of beer and wine from which to choose. Call the Windmill today, 665-9529. That's 665-9529. Also by One Way Construction. Founded in 2000, One Way is a premier custom home builder and construction company in Leavenworth, Cashmere, Chelan, Wenatchee, and North Central Washington. Whether your project requires general contracting, framing, concrete, or consulting services, they want to be part of making your vision a reality. They believe that great communication and customer service plays the most important role of a successful construction project. Find them on the web at onewayconstructionnw.com. So after the timeouts, Moses Lake sticks with the plan here on 4th and 1 near midfield.
I think something's going to happen here, Eric. I really do.
Well, the up back is Dalen Anderson. They snap it back. Signorelli with a punt, and a bad punt at that. It will bounce and take a Moses Lake bounce anyway from the 31 down inside and be downed at the 23-yard line. So that's 10, 20, 28 yards on the punt is all. And I sit mouth agape at that decision when you're trailing at 28-0.
I don't get that whatsoever. No, I wouldn't even have went into punt formation. I'd have ran a regular set offensive play there.
Well, and Wenatchee very few times tonight has gotten the penetration to stop them for a loss or no gain on those dive plays on the trap inside. So little shocking here, but nonetheless, it is Wenatchee football as they'll have it with 4:20 to go, and they'll quickly throw it out in the flat. I think that's Mason Brown over there on the catch as he dances his way out to the 30-yard line as they start this possession from their own 23. Gain of about 7 yards on that first down play for the Panthers. And again, I'm going to have to get the glasses out, Grant, to see exactly.
I think Brown got the nice block over there. I think that was maybe Thomas on the catch.
No, it was Trey Stegman.
Trey Stegman, sorry about that.
So Stegman on the catch for the Panthers. 2nd down coming up from the 30-yard line. Ball left hash mark. Again, Cam Sermon doing the duty here at quarterback. Turns, runs into his running back. That was a miscommunication in the backfield and going to be taken for a loss on the play. As shooting in to make the stop was Isaac Taylor. That's the 2nd time we've seen the quarterback turn and then run into Blauman back there in the backfield.
And you got to think it's the sophomore Sermon's maybe misread on the play or just didn't understand the play. Blauman's been back there a long time.
So Wenatchee going to take their own sweet time here to milk this clock with 3:12 to go in the 3rd, leading by 4 scores, 28-0. And again, I'm honestly shocked, folks. I thought this would be a really tight game coming in. But so far, complete domination by Wenatchee. Sermon turns, hands it to Blauman again, running left across the 30, out to the 35-yard line, and a first down on a 6-yard gain over the left side. Finally tackled down by Joshua Williams.
Great blocking on that left side, just enough to spring Blauman for that 3 or 6 yard gain to pick up that first down, and he's such a tough runner.
Sermon comes all the way to the numbers here near side to get the play from the sideline, and then heads back out on the field here. As Wenatchee, I just got to think they'll just continue to run the football, but you know, I've been wrong before. 2:37 left here in the third. Wenatchee up 28-0. High snap, turn, handoff, left side, dive play, and I don't think that's Blauman out there on that particular carry. We'll see after they unstack it as they got to the 39-yard line, so gain of about 4 yards on first down. And popping up, no, it is Blauman. So give him a gain of 5 on that running play out near the 40-yard line. Blauman continuing to carry the rock here for the Panthers. And that's what Coach Scott Devereaux said before the ball game too, is that, you know, Blauman is just continuing to work into the flow of things after coming back from that injury. And the more we can give him the ball, the better it is for
15
Wenatchee.
carries, 81 yards so far, Eric.
Turn, they fake the handoff, throw out the flat. The ball caught out here by Darius Carlson across the 40, leaning ahead, going to be awfully close depending on the spot here for the first down. Just a little pitch and catch here near side, and the officials will spot it across the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down on the pass play. And I'll tell you, Sermon just doing a great job as a sophomore leading this offense here tonight.
He's managing this offense, and that's impressive for a sophomore. But that's what you got to do, is get it to your athletes out in space and let Carlson kind of make something happen.
Carlson split to the short side of the field to the right, along with Jelsing out there. Sermon watching that clock wind down. He's got 10 still on the play clock as he'll shift his tight end Coons from left to right. And now the snap finally comes back to him. The handoff is to Blauman again. Look out, kept his feet up the far sideline, and he gets spun out of bounds into the Wenatchee bench at the 41-yard line. Another gain for a first down for Wenatchee.
13 yards on that carry for Blauman. That's 94 now on the night. And that was sure determination on his part.
And you see the Moses Lake Chief big boys up front. They got their hands on their hips right now. They are gasping for wind as the Wenatchee offensive line continues to express its will with 1:21 left here in the third quarter.
Offensive line is dominating right now for the Panthers, just doing an outstanding job.
End of the ball game, Mason Brown splits out wide to the left here on a first down and 10. Back to pass, Sermon. Throw's going to go long downfield. Jelsing stopped on a curl route about 15 yards downfield. He was thinking that he was going to go on a fly route down the sideline. Miscommunication between the two. It falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up.
And I don't think Sermon had a good handle on that ball. The snap was a little bit away from him. It was bobbled in his hands, and he threw it. I don't think he had a good grip on that one.
Well, lucky for the Panthers, they do not turn it over here. We have had a couple of interceptions tonight by Joshua Williams. Got to give him credit. He's played well for Moses Lake here in this ball game. Two receivers wide to the far side left here on 2nd down and 10. Now a whistle comes, and let's see what we have. The officials, now they restart things. Turn, handoff, Blauman, big hole inside. He's trying to get away from the man, lost the football. It's going to be out of bounds, I believe. Let's see what the official says. The official, I think, pointing at the ground. He's going to say Moses Lake football. I thought that ball was on the sideline stripe before Moses Lake picked it up, but the official here near on the Wenatchee sideline says it is a turnover on the fumble by Nate Blauman.
Or a better question, Eric, might be, was the Moses Lake man inbounds when he grabbed the football? That's the key to that call. Very interesting there.
So Blauman on a great carry, reaching up and stripping the ball from him on the play, was the cornerback on that side. So we have another turnover. No points on the board. Moses Lake gets the ball back with 1:06 to go at their own 22-yard line. Option right. Signorelli pitches it back to Fuchs. Fuchs cuts inside, but is cut down right there. I think Darius Carlson coming up on the stop for Wenatchee.
Nice play to cut the legs right out from under Fuchs, because he's a tough runner if he gets a little set of steam, and a good tackle by Carlson.
Actually, I apologize. It was not Carlson that came over there. That for Wenatchee that time was 21, which is Jax Tucker. So 81-21 with the font they have for the Wenatchee numbers. Difficult to see as my aging eyes continue to age before my very own eyes here. Second down coming up from the 26. Signorelli again, handoff on a counter play inside, and he hasn't carried the ball that much here in the second half. Campos gets it up near the 30. It'll be a third down coming up after about 4 yards on that play.
8 carries, 46 yards now on the night for Mason Campos. They use him early in each half and then kind of go away from him. We'll see if they stick with him here in the fourth, but it's going to be catch-up football for Moses Lake from here on out.
And that will be the end of our third quarter. How about the Wenatchee Panthers? Now it is a scoreless streak, 2 games and 3 quarters. 28-0 our score, as we'll head to a commercial break and come back. Fourth quarter straight ahead. You're watching Panther football tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. We're back after the 60-second timeout.
Können Sie mir das Problem sagen? Meinen Zylinder überschwimmt. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren. Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragenschlussen. You.
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street in Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529.
Like with the first snap of the fourth quarter, and a scramble by Signorelli across the 30, 35, still on his feet, still driving ahead across the 40 out to the 43-yard line. And that was a busted play that Signorelli just made all happen by himself. Got it all the way out to the 44-yard line. What a play by Signorelli.
That was determination right there on that nice 13-yard run, getting it all the way out to the 44-yard line, Eric. And good blocking, too, initially, but that was all Signorelli and effort there.
Our broadcast brought to you in part here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel by the Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube, including front and four-wheel alignment, online at alignpros.com or at 182 Eastmont Avenue. First down from the 44. Signorelli looking left, throwing left. The ball thrown behind the intended receiver. We got a flag down. I think a roughing the passer going to come after the pass completion on the midfield stripe and then some by Chayton Fisk. So I think we're going to have some injury added to the insult on the pass completion of 9 yards, and it will be against the defense.
And that is the first completion of this second half for Moses Lake, Eric. First one. Been all on the ground for the Chiefs here.
So it was a gain of 9 yards officially to the 47 of Wenatchee. Then add the penalty of 15 yards on top of that. Ouch. 6 penalties and 55 yards in the game now. And that's, you know, if Wenatchee can hold on and win this game, no matter what the final score is, you know that Scott Devereaux's not happy about the penalty situation. No. So with the 15-yard penalty, they mark it all the way to the Wenatchee just outside the 32-yard line. Which I'm looking at Moses Lake possessions here, going back to last half. And since they ended the half at the 15, that's the deepest penetration Moses Lake has had other than the opening drive of the ball game.
Wow.
We got a flag down, and it's a offsides against the defense. So yet another penalty against Wenatchee. Well, and you hate this, too, if you're the coaching staff, because you're giving up yards without the clock moving.
That's right. That's the most important point of that right there.
So it'll be 1st and 5 now from the Wenatchee 22, or make that the 27-yard line, as they restart the clock on a penalty on the defense. 10:42 to go here in the ball game. Wenatchee on top 28-0 on a stellar night for Cam Sermon. Signorelli pitches out to Fuchs. Fuchs looking for the corner and coming up nicely for Wenatchee, keeping him to a short gain on the play. And Dalton Thomas all the way around. Great game tonight for Wenatchee.
That is a great tackle right there, that's for sure. A 1-yard gain is all for Fuchs around that corner. It was all made possible by a great tackle by Thomas.
So Dalton Thomas, who has a big kickoff return here in the ball game, also has an interception, if I remember right, back in the second quarter. So a great game tonight for the 5'11", 165-pound senior. Where's number 8? Trips to the left here on second and short coming up for Signorelli and company. He'll hand it off to Fuchs. Fuchs met at the point of attack and brought down. Going to be close to a first down, however. That time defensively, Ronan Haynes came up and filled the hole and latched on to his legs and brought him down.
I think they got it, but it's awfully close.
Well, we haven't had a measurement all night. The head official says that's a first down. At first, the official on the far sideline was ready to bring the sticks in, but no measurement needed, according to Dennis Brandstetter. And so it'll be a first down for Moses Lake at the Wenatchee 22.
Moses Lake's been down here a few times tonight, Eric. They just haven't been able to capitalize.
Yeah, they got down to the 15-yard line, and the half would end on a fourth down on a pass play out of the back of the end zone. We'll see on first down if Signorelli maybe tries to go for the end zone here from the 22. Signorelli back to pass, has pressure, throws down, has a receiver, almost picked off.
Wow.
Incomplete in the end zone. The pass intended for Dalen Anderson. And a nice job of trying to go up and high point the ball for Wenatchee. And again, Ferris Nasser, how about his game tonight as well?
He has played great. He's made some really big hits in this football game, but that was just over the fingertips of the defender for the Panthers. But maybe if he was 6'3", he'd have caught that. That was awfully close. That's all timing right there.
Ferris Nasser comes in at 5'11", 175 pounds. And the senior almost came up with the big pick there, and it was almost a completion for a touchdown.
It was just as close.
So here we go, second down and 10 from the 22 of Wenatchee. Moses Lake trying to snap a scoreless string. Pitch back to Fuchs, trying to get to the corner again. Wenatchee chasing, and they bring him down after a gain of about 6 yards on the sideline as Fuchs got around the corner. Good pursuit by Wenatchee.
Nasser, I think, went all the way across the field to make that tackle, didn't he?
Maybe Nasser. It looked like it may have been Jax Tucker along with Omar Cruz.
It was great speed to get over there from the other side of the field.
Nonetheless, it's a gain to the Wenatchee 16-yard line. So a gain of 6 yards on that play brings up third down and 4 for Moses Lake. Clock stops on the out-of-bounds play with 9:11 to go here in the contest. Back to pass, Signorelli looking for a positive play. Throwing towards the end zone. The ball is underthrown and incomplete at the goal line as they tried to get it to Chayton Fisk in the corner of the end zone. But good coverage for Wenatchee. And again, a little pressure brought on Signorelli. Probably caused him to throw that ball a little sooner than he wanted to.
Panthers good penetration once again there. I don't know if it was a blitz on that time, but the defensive line has been doing a good enough job. You don't need to really blitz. Keep them back in coverage.
Darius Carlson back there helping on the over-top coverage of Dalton Thomas. Again, Wenatchee up to the challenge, trying to continue pitching shutouts with 9:06 to go here in the contest. 28-0, and the home fans want the defense to hold on here on a fourth down and 4 from just outside the 15-yard line. Signorelli gets the snap, rolls, has pressure. Now
blitz, ball's loose,
and it's picked up by Wenatchee. The Panthers come through with a turnover.
They're saying incomplete out there, Eric.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Jax Tucker was the one who came through and hit him. The ball looked like a fumble and a recovery, but no, they're going to say it's over on downs on an incomplete pass. I don't know. That looked like it was a fumble to me.
That ball, his arm was not going forward. I'll just say it right now. That was a fumble all the way. It was tapped right before he went into his motion.
As we look at the replay here,
no way.
No, that ball was coming out. I know his arm was starting to go forward, but he'd already lost the ball at that point.
That was not a good call.
At least from our perspective. So it'll be first down for Wenatchee. They do stop and keep Moses Lake out of the end zone from their own 16-yard line. Turn, handoff. Again, it is Nate Blauman across the far side. It goes across the 20 out to the 23-yard line. Good gallop on first down.
Gain of 8 gives him 104 yards now on the night, Eric, on 17 carries. Nice night for Nate Blauman.
And a great night for the defense again here for Wenatchee. How about it? Out to the 24 on that gain. Again, I got to remember that our view that we have here in the booth is the opposite of what our TV cameras are saying. So if I say the far side, it's actually the near side.
That's true.
Keep that in mind here as we do the broadcast from Lee Bofto Field to the Apple Bowl. Thanks for joining us.
And we're old radio guys, Eric.
And we're
Come
old
on.
radio guys. Yeah, that's true. You can see it for yourself. I'm just going to shut up now. Blauman across the 25, 30, 35, 40, out near midfield before he's finally tumbled down. To the numbers tonight for Camden Sermon, the sophomore quarterback running the offense here for Wenatchee, doing a fine job. Pitch back here, and Tucker trying to find his way around the left side, but there's a host of Moses Lake Chiefs. We haven't been able to say that very much here tonight. Gang tackling by the Chiefs, but they do on that play.
You know, that's
around
a
the
great
left side.
point, Eric. They really haven't been doing that tonight at all. If it's been a tackle, it's been 1 or 2 guys, but not a bunch of Chiefs making those tackles tonight. Panthers been, on the other hand, a lot of gang tackling on the other side of the football. That's made a difference. A Panther defense, they're playing with confidence right now, and that's huge.
No gain on that play, so 2nd and 10 coming up for the Panthers from the Moses Lake 32-yard line. And this is an emphatic statement by Wenatchee that no matter what happened the first 2 games of the season, of course, you got to look at who they played the first 2 games of the season. Wenatchee winning their 3rd in a row here, improving to 2-0 in the Big 9, saying, we're going to have a say about this.
Absolutely.
Turn, handoff. Again, Tucker running left, and Tucker stood up at the 25, still fighting for yardage.
Great run.
Got it down to about the 23-yard line, and that's going to be awfully close to a first down.
All determination there by Tucker. 9-yard carry. Will it be enough?
It is a first down. The official says, you betcha, as they'll put the ball down at the 22 of Moses Lake. 10 yards on the carry. Clock will start again after they reset the chains with 6:28 left here in regulation. 28-0 domination throughout by Wenatchee after what seemed like a great start for Moses Lake. They got the ball down to the Wenatchee 5-yard line, turned it over on downs. It's been all Wenatchee since, honestly. Turn, handoff again, Tucker running left, inside the 20, inside the 15, to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Jax Tucker. We got a flag coming in, but that's not going to keep the score off the board as the Panthers extend their lead 34-0.
And that was a beautiful run by Jax Tucker. He kind of Tucker, beautiful run.
The officials talking it over here about the flags. We do have a flag back at the 10-yard line as well. So this one might be coming back. That would be too bad if that's the case. You're going to hang onto my belt loops as I hang out.
Yeah, I don't
the
want you to fall out the window here.
See what this flag is. To my extreme angle. Unsportsmanlike against Moses Lake and a personal foul against Moses Lake. So they could do, if those are both dead ball fouls, you could get both of them. So it'd be a 30-yard penalty on the kickoff.
Because I don't think those penalties are offsetting, are they? I mean,
no,
it's on the same
against,
team, but
both against the defense. If they're against two different individuals.
Panthers will be kicking off at about the Moses Lake 40.
Well, the good news for Jax Tucker, the 22-yard touchdown run is good. So second rushing touchdown for Wenatchee tonight. And three passing touchdowns.
Yep.
What a night for the Wenatchee offense. 34-0, and now we wait for the adjudication here, and now the head coach Todd Hayes for the Moses Lake Chiefs standing out on the field wants to get the word from Dennis Brandstetter on what happened in the end zone. I honestly didn't see it, and I didn't see our replay here to see what might have occurred.
It was after the touchdown, the personal foul.
Yeah, it was a dead ball.
Right.
So there is unsportsmanlike conduct whistle against Moses Lake and a personal foul against Moses Lake as well.
Talking it over with Coach Hayes on the sideline.
Coach Hayes assisted by Jeremy Quilter, Jacob Hunt, J.R. Snyder, and Brian Gwynn. Now finally that discussion is over.
Here's the replay. There's the late hit right there in the end zone. That's one of the flags.
And then a personal foul in addition, and it will be assessed on the kickoff. So I believe that'll be 30 yards. That'll be tacked on to the kickoff. So Wenatchee will be kicking it off from,
yeah, like I mentioned earlier, from about the 30 or 40 yard line.
The Moses Lake side of the field. Meanwhile, we got to finish up this point after touchdown as the fans start to filter their way out, at least the Moses Lake fans. Going to try to beat that traffic against us across the Senator George Sella Bridge. The ball is kicked, but no good. Getting a little bit too far under it that time was Nasser. So coachable moment for the Panthers. They lead at 34-0. We will take a 60-second break and come back. 6:03 to go in the contest. All Wenatchee tonight. 34-0 over the Chiefs. We're back after this.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
So the drive for Wenatchee, 7 plays, 84 yards, took 3 minutes even off the clock. The 22-yard touchdown run by Jax Tucker, the extra point wide to the right, and I think you could even say short. And that makes it a 34-0 lead for Wenatchee with 6:03 to go here in regulation. And a 30-yard penalty being marched off here will put it at the Moses Lake 30-yard line.
I think so, yeah.
Wow. It's hard not to try an onside kick right here.
Boy,
you wouldn't do it because that's adding insult to injury.
Yeah.
It's 34-0. But
any other situation,
you would want to try that right here. This is the point where you do it.
Something interesting, Eric. Moses Lake, 31 total yards this second half so far.
Wow. Wow. Talk about a defensive effort tonight for the Wenatchee Panthers. 3 different times Moses Lake's had the ball inside the 20-yard line and have gone over tonight on trying to get it into the end zone. There's the kickoff, and it will sail out of the back of the end zone off of the foot of Esquivel. I talked to the coaching staff with the sickness for Ferris Nasser. They said they had to search for a kicker this week in practice. They knew Esquivel could kick. They didn't know how good he could kick, but they had him as an emergency backup, and he just kicked that off and did very well, as a matter of fact.
And their plan was really to go for 2 every time they scored, wasn't it, originally?
Yeah, if Nasser was not available tonight. So 6:03 to go here in the game. First down for Moses Lake. They'll put the ball at the 20-yard line. Just impressive tonight. Wenatchee's had the ball, by the way, 3 times in the second half. They scored on 2 of those 3 possessions.
Right. It has been a dominating performance. No other way to put it.
Well, Dominic Signorelli staying out there, the senior for Moses Lake, playing the Panthers for the last time in his career. Handoff to Fuchs inside, and we'll see if the Panthers are getting any fresh jerseys. I see some new numbers out there, so we'll try to get them to you. As Fuchs gets a 6-yard gain out to the 26, it'll be 2nd down and 4 coming up from the left side. So let's grab the sheet here and let you know who's in the ball game for the Panthers. It looks like Ty Waterman is there. Also up front, they still have quite a few starters still in the ball game, but Waterman out there for Wenatchee. Turn, fake the handoff. Signorelli throws, and this one is high and off the hands of his intended receiver that time. Mason Campos brings up a 3rd down as the clock stops with 5:27 to go.
And guess who's in his face once again? Lloydhammer. Chase Lloydhammer in his face has played an outstanding football game here tonight.
Also in there for Wenatchee, Eric Mendoza has kind of been switching in on the defensive line throughout the ball game here tonight. Cameron McKenzie also in there for Wenatchee. Getting some players some playing time that don't normally get a chance to get in there a lot. Josh Bouchon also out there as a linebacker now for Wenatchee. Signorelli turns, hands it off, and nothing happening inside. Nothing but a wall of purple. It'll be 4th down coming up for the Moses Lake Chiefs. As take your pick. I think getting there first, Cameron McKenzie, just mentioned his name, one of those to get in on the stop for Wenatchee. 4th down coming up. The ball is out to the 28, so they'll officially gave him a gain of 2. That was generous.
It was generous.
So Signorelli will punt the ball away, and Dalton Thomas back inside his 40 to return this one as we're now under 5 minutes to go. And a low snap. Signorelli is trying to get away from the defense, but will not, and is slammed down to the backfield for a loss on the play as Mario Murillo comes in for Wenatchee to make the stop, and it will be Panther ball inside the 25.
Makes you nervous, though, when the punter is also the quarterback, and he's back there scrambling around trying to figure out what to do. Can he throw it downfield? There's probably receivers down there, but he didn't have time for that. But it makes you a little bit nervous.
So bad snap to the center. Signorelli had no choice but to just kind of scramble there. And so it goes over on downs to the Panthers, and substitution now in the backfield. Ty Waterman out there running as the tailback, and he'll get the handoff. Bobbled it when he got it. Gets around the corner to the 20. Ty Waterman, by the way, in his mop-up duties, has one of the longest yards per carry of the Big Nine right now.
He does.
He does. He's averaging like six plus yards per carry. and mop-up duty for the Wenatchee Panthers. So the clock continues to run, so it's all in the books here but the final score, as Wenatchee has it first down now, or second down from the 20. Gain of 4 yards for Waterman on that one. Going in, Jelsing will split out wide to the right. Murillo out there as well. Turn, handoff. Waterman again dances to his left. Got another positive gain on the play. Inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Now, one thing we have seen, despite what happened, and I didn't see it in that touchdown run for Jax Tucker, there has been good sportsmanship throughout tonight. Guys been helping each other up. I've seen wide receivers tapping each other, and the defensive backs on the hind end after a play.
Right.
I have seen very good sportsmanship here in this one.
And we've seen some other chippy moments in this series between these two teams. So, yeah, it's been pretty tame tonight, but the score would kind of dictate maybe that's why we're seeing that.
So third down short, call it 2 yards from the 16. Turn, handoff. Waterman again dances behind his big offensive lineman. He's got a first down and more as he works his way down near the 15-yard line. And a good run there by Ty Waterman as he got behind his big offensive lineman that time, Andy Jimenez, and says, I'll just let you lead the way, big fella.
Tried to the right side, Eric, and then saw something over the middle and kind of cut it back across the middle and made a nice 6-yard gain out of it. 14 yards on 3 carries already for Waterman.
Down to the 12 on that particular carry as Wenatchee will try to just continue to eat up the clock here. Under 3 minutes to go. Wenatchee will improve to 2-0 in Big 9 play. We'll be back here again next Friday.
Looking forward to it.
On the NCWLIFE channel. High snap from center. Turn, handoff again. Waterman running left side as he gets it inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. Another 4 yards on that game.
He's built low to the ground, but he's got a lot of power, and he's kind of quick, too. I like the way he runs at the line of scrimmage. If he sees something on his own, he'll go that way.
Well, and the future for what you're doing out there, because Waterman's a junior, 5'8" and 180 pounds.
Yep.
Built well, low to the ground. And I like leaving your sophomore quarterback in here to finish things up.
I do too. He's earned it. He really has tonight. He has played very well. Between him and Blauman, both offensive MVPs tonight.
Turn, handoff again. Waterman just a dive play. Moses Lake gets in, cuts him down after maybe a gain of just a yard on that one, down to about the 12. Or excuse me, down to the 7. So it is a gain of a yard. Clock continues to wind with 1:36 to go. By the way, do you want to head down to the field for our post-game show?
Sure.
Okay, Grant's going to head downfield because there's going to be a mob of people between our elevation of, I think, 3,200 foot above sea level here, and where he needs to get down to the field over by Marion, our camera woman extraordinaire. Okay, yeah. And a turn and a handoff again on a dive play. Not much happening on that one. It'll bring up fourth down for the Panthers as they will have it at about the 6-yard line. Appreciate you joining us on the NCWLIFE channel. Our coverage tonight is brought to you in part by Automoca. What's your Automoca emergency? Visit one of their 6 locations in the valley, including the only Automoca with inside seating on 5th Street across from Wenatchee Valley College. Also by Color FX, offering screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and logo design for your team, school, business, or church at a fair price, locally owned for over 20 years. Call Color FX, 509-741-7609. Well, Wenatchee's going to let this run all the way down. Let's see if they take a timeout here before the play clock winds out. And no, yep, they will take a timeout. So they will take a timeout with 29 seconds left. And again, our coverage tonight brought to you by Global Car Care, a quality auto repair facility with highly trained technicians celebrating 25 years in the car care business. They speak your car's language at 1840 North Wenatchee Avenue. Also by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consultation services. Online at onewayconstructionnw.com. And by The Windmill, a time-tested restaurant providing traditional steakhouse meals and a homey old-fashioned dining room. Open 7 days a week, 4:30 to 9. Call 509-665-9529. Well, a lot to celebrate here tonight for the home fans as the Wenatchee Panthers will improve to 2-0 in Big Nine play, 3-2 on the season. This will be their third consecutive win after beating Mount Boucherie here 70-0. Heading on the road and beating Eisenhower 14-0, and now pitching another shutout tonight, 34-0 over Moses Lake. After the timeout, the Panthers will go into victory formation here. Moses Lake, hopefully no ill will here, as they'll just let the Panthers snap it and end this thing. Sermon will take a knee, and actually that will turn the ball over on that knee that he takes. And so Moses Lake will have one more shot to try to do something after it goes over on downs. So impressive all the way around for Wenatchee here tonight. Offensively, defensively, special teams, a complete victory at home in front of a good crowd on hand here at Liebofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Again, coming up on our postgame show, we'll be down field side, and we'll do our best to try to grab, if not Scott Devereaux, try to grab a player possibly here on our postgame show, as the officials bring a new football in. But again, as we were talking, Camden Sermon, great job at quarterback here tonight for the Wenatchee Panthers. Also Nate Blauman running out of the backfield, over 100 yards for Blauman here tonight. And Moses Lake will just do a dive play up the middle. They do have the timeouts, but they won't use them. And that will conclude our bowl game tonight, as the Wenatchee Panthers get the victory here at home, improving to 2-0 in Big Nine play and making a big statement to the rest of the Big Nine that they are here to have a say in what will happen come November. 34-0 the final. That's going to do it for our broadcast here in the booth. We will head down field side. Coming up next, Grant Olson. Oh, he's got his Buffalo Bill shirt on. My goodness. So we'll go down to Grant. I'll make my way down there as well. We'll try to grab at least a coach, if not a player, coming up on the postgame show. Again, thanks for joining us on the NCWLIFE channel. Our final score, Wenatchee 34, Moses Lake 0. We're back with a postgame after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frappuccino.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Können Sie mir das Problem sagen? Meinen Zylinder überschwimmt. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren. Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragen schließen. How you?
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street in Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homely, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529.
Grant Olson here, back. Post-game show begins here on the NCWLIFE channel. I'm down on the field, and let's take a look at some of our final game stats. First of all, for the Wenatchee Panthers, it was the Nate Blauman show on the ground. He ended up with 18 carries, 125 yards on the night. Also a nice yard for Jax Tucker in limited duty on the ground. He had 4 carries for 36 yards and a touchdown. Also tonight, it was a great night for the sophomore quarterback. Cam Sermon ends up 14 of 20, 166 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he did throw those 2 interceptions late in the first half, but a great game for the sophomore quarterback Sermon. As far as receiving goes, it was a nice night for Darius Carlson. Ends up with 4 catches for 76 yards, also 4 catches, 47 yards on the night for Mason Brown. The Panthers, a nice offensive showing tonight. On the ground for the Moses Lake Chiefs, because there wasn't much to talk about through the air. The Chiefs on the ground, their big runner tonight was Randy Fuchs. He had 9 carries for 52 yards. Also on the night, Mason Campos. He had 10 carries for 48 yards and 4 carries for Dominic Signorelli, the quarterback, for 15 yards. Through the air, not much to talk about for the Moses Lake Chiefs. Dominic Signorelli was 6 of 14 for 64 yards and an interception in the first half, and not much better in the second half. Dominating performance by the Panthers. We will take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with more post-game right here from Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl, where the Wenatchee Panthers defeat the Moses Lake Chiefs by a final of 34-0. 2-minute timeout. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frappitas.
A peach Red Bull.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Post-game show continues here on the NCWLIFE channel. I'm now joined by running back Nate Blauman. 18 carries, 124 yards on the night, Nate. It was a great night for you. What made it all possible?
Well, the 10 other guys on the field made it possible. I just read my offensive line and went off of them. They had great blocking tonight.
It seems like you had a good offensive scheme going into this. You mixed it up well throughout the night, pass and run, and that must have been the plan tonight, just kind of keep them off guard a little bit on defense.
Yeah, that was definitely the plan. We knew they'd be keying me, so we tried to go off of that and fake runs and pass off of that, and it was good. Really good passing.
Off to a good start, 2-0 now in the Big Nine. That's got to be a good feeling compared to the past previous seasons. This is a good start, and only one team makes the playoffs out of the Big Nine this year, so every game is so important, isn't it?
Yeah, every single game we're fighting. It's going to be a tough battle, but we're willing to go that distance.
And what do you have to say about your quarterback, the sophomore Cam Sermon? He played a great game tonight, 3 touchdown passes. I think he had 167 yards on the night. He's a player, and he's somebody to watch here in the future, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's gonna be a great quarterback for the years to come. I'm really excited to watch him play and play with him next year again. He's gonna be good.
So how you feeling health-wise? I know you were a little bit banged up. You're kind of getting back to where you were tonight. Sure looked like you were back to where you were. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling better. Took a little bit to get back from the ankle injury, but. Feels good. Feels good to be back and healthy.
Well, once again, fantastic game tonight. 18 carries, 125 yards. One of the big reasons the Panthers went on to this 34-0 victory over the Moses Lake Chiefs. Thanks, Nate, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, the post-game show will continue. Here's Eric.
Right now.
Here's Eric. Thank you,
Can I
Nate.
have that from you, Nate? Thanks, bud. Good game.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Let's get the coach in here.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Coach.
Oh, double whammy.
Yeah,
right.
we got bookends on you here.
Ugly
Speaking of bookends, let's talk about your defense. Another shutout tonight, and they bent, but they didn't break.
True. You know, they prepared well all week. You know, it's a tough offense to prepare for in a week. The option stuff you don't see much anymore, and guys stepped up and played. They wanted the shutout. You know, that's a challenge with that every week, and you know, they rose to the occasion.
The way that the game started, I'm sure, was not the way you drew it up, with a good kickoff return and 15 yards, and suddenly they got great field position. They take it right down in a big couple of gulps there with some big holes in the inside. What was the adjustment that you made after?
They're running a little fullback counter that we hadn't seen. So good plan by them. So the adjustment was read your key and move, right? Get to your spot, beat the down block, and our D linemen weren't getting off the blocks fast enough. So you know, we just talked about get off the block, read your key, fly through there, and we'll beat that play, and it worked.
Well, let's turn to offensive side of the ball, Coach. Your offensive line played a great game tonight, and you did a great job, it seemed tonight, of really mixing it up, run and pass. Was that the plan going in?
We saw that they gave some stuff in the short passing game with the hitches and the little quick screens and stuff. So we wanted to open the game with that and take advantage of that and then see if they made adjustments. But by their alignment, we knew we could run our power play, and it kind of got better as the game went on.
And I think your sophomore quarterback, Cam Sermon, really showed some maturity tonight, ended up with 3 touchdown passes, 166 yards on the night. He managed the game very well for a youngster.
He did. You know, he put the ball on the money. That pass down to Darius in the end zone was a great throw. You know, he threw a pick I wasn't happy about, but he's getting better every week, and he's going to be one heck of a quarterback.
Well, let's talk about spark plugs. You always look for them somewhere in a game. You don't know where they're going to come from. I thought Dalton Thomas with interception tonight. He also gets a big kickoff return for you guys. You got a spark plug right there, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, we rolled our coverage a little differently this week that we hadn't shown before. They threw us a couple balls. I think we probably dropped a couple of interceptions, but that was a big play by Dalton. You know, he's playing like a senior should be playing.
Well, I know it's still early, but for us anyway, watching you guys play tonight, I thought this was a statement game for Wenatchee saying, hey, we're 2-0 and we're coming for you.
I hope so. You know, our goal is to win the league title. There's 4 more games to go, so we got to take them one at a time. As long as we prepare like we can prepare and play to the level that we want to play to, I think we can have success.
Well, that's Scott Devereaux joining us here on the postgame show, and that's going to wrap it up for our broadcast here tonight. 34-0. The Wenatchee Panthers get the victory over the Moses Lake Chiefs and continue. Well, they break that string of 3 where they lost in a row to the Chiefs, and we're not even going to think about that after a big dominating night here tonight as they win at 34-0. Thanks to our crew. Thanks to Chelsea Craig, to Jessica Medina, to Marion Granstrom, to Dan Kuntz, to Tucker Wagner, and to our lovely engineer back in the studios, Caitlin Hedersheet. On behalf of Grant Olson, I'm Eric Granstrom. Thanks for joining us for Big Nine Football tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. Again, 34-0 domination by the Panthers. They get the win. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching High School Sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Alignment Pros, Automoca, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, and the Windmill Restaurant. NCWLIFE channel's coverage is also brought to you by Charter College and the Walkabout Grill. This concludes today's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.